Okay, guys, we are live! And for those listening at home, welcome, and bienvenue to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly... Oh, what do they call it in this? It's not a Cypher Master. Is it just Game Master?
GM, yeah.
GM. Yeah, we could do better than that. I will be your friendly...
Mad Master.
Mad Hatter.
I'm going to be your friendly Verbindungsmanner for today, because sorry, I saw Ingolf wins at my German.
Yeah, I'm just you're just using the plural, which is weird because you're just one person. So you're
Verbindungsmann, is that
That's where he's got you.
Verbindungsmann?
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Kevin knows what he's doing.
Oh, I can't wait. I've got so much, and I think David, you speak French, don't you?
It's rusty, but yeah.
It's rusty. All right. I'm going to be ruining a whole bunch of languages for a whole bunch of people.
And just to be clear, I speak mostly correct English.
I speak Spanish, so, if you want to try your hand at that.
I will be your friendly Verbindungsmann. Because today we are going to be playing the latest in our charity sessions for this year. This year, we have been running for the first half of the year charity sessions selected by donors to the Heroes Save Villages campaign from last year. That benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, really incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. And you can find a link to make donations to that in the description of the video. And today's very generous donor was Karl, who, when he... his selection for the session was to play a session of Monte Cook's excellent Cypher System, and to make use of Shanna Germain's We Are All Mad Here sourcebook. So I have taken those and put together a tale for our heroes that I am calling The Fall of a Sparrow. And with me today are the stars of The Fall of a Sparrow. Oh, that's Anna. She also did help with this, so... nice. I don't want to leave her uncredited. The stars of today's session, I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today? First up, we've got Karl.
Hello, I'm Karl, and I am playing Maximilian von Eichendorf. He is an honorable swordsman who hunts monsters.
Nice. Next up is George.
Hey everybody, I'm George. I'm playing Ansem, who normally I would have printed out in front of me, but I'm not in my home base, so I couldn't have a physical piece of paper, and I hate to ruin the world by printing things out, but I have to read off an actual screen for once. So he is a charming liaison who has walked the wild.
Very nice. Next up is David.
Bonsoir, I'm David, and I'll be playing Mademoiselle Caroline Victoire d'Urville, a haunted medium who has made a deal with death. And I'm enjoying a lovely Gewürztraminer from just south of Strasbourg.
Very nice.
Get into the mood spirits tonight.
Good, that's good. And last, but certainly not least, is Ingolf.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Wilhelmina Rotkäppchen, who is like a Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf in one person, who is a weird urchin who sheds her skin.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So then, guys, before we started, we went through and talked a little bit about what we're going to do for today. There's just for those who are Cypher players, we've made two changes to the rules. For one, we're going to be referring to XP as action points throughout the game, just because that's how they're going to play through today's session for the one shot. Second thing we've decided is that GM intrusions can't be refused. So just for the ease of transitioning through a one shot, that's one thing. So if you see us ignoring that, it's not because we don't know the rules. There's gonna be plenty of other ways I don't know the rules to this, but that one exception is one we're willingly ignoring. So guys, our set, I mentioned this in the planning stages of this, our session is set in 1905 in Strasbourg. Strasbourg at this point is part of the German Empire, but it remains effectively a multicultural and a border town. The Strasbourg transitioned to the German Empire in the 1870s, so it's been more than a generation worth of time that Strasbourg has been part of the German Empire, but it remains this very mixed and cultural center at the time. our world for this one is one where we are transitioning from the medieval and, late medieval and the grit of the industrial era into in theory, more enlightened age. And in our heroes' case, our heroes are some might say a dying breed, whether by diplomacy or by taking up arms, or by effecting bargains, you all have dealings with the various secret worlds that still exist. Strasbourg is not so far away from the Black Forest that the shadow of that ancient place it does not fall on it. And Strasbourg, because of its multicultural and because of its border kind of nature, it also carries over into that secret world as well. You all are, for the most part, Verbundungsmänner, which means you are liaisons between the folks who have difficulties with things related to the secret world, whether it be fairies or ghosts or monsters or whatever, curses. And you can help address and deal with them. You are kind of like hired detectives or troubleshooters for very specific types of problems. And the more the world progresses, the less that there will be need for your arts. Our session starts with the howl of a wolf. Oh. And Maximilian, you wake up in your richly appointed room. Maximilian, of course, is a German aristocrat. He has a very nice place, not on, I wrote it down, Grand Ile. Grand Ile is the place in the, if I'm butchering any of my pronunciations, my apologies to French speakers, German speakers, anyone, and English speakers. Let's just cover the bases of anyone likely watching this. Grand Ile is the oldest part of Strasbourg. It was originally the Roman fort, and you are just on the outskirts of that. When we wake up, the sound of the wolf is something that you wake up to every day. You're not certain of what your dream is that you've had, Maximilian, but you know that it's always there. When you sit up in bed, one or two of your old wounds from back in your more active monster hunting days trouble you, but they always go away once you get up and stretch. Scar tissue is like that. We would see your room is appointed with, it has that old person who has traveled and lived a lot quality to it, where every dresser is full of dozens of photographs, or what do you call it? The photographs, mimeographs, photographs, I guess, of individuals yellowed in that kind of tinted kind of way. There are keepsakes. There are framed different medals or honorifics that you've received over the years. But some of these things, we can see the glass has broken. So you keep the stuff in order there, but you're not really, it doesn't matter to you enough to have the stuff perfectly framed. Your manservant will come and wake you and dress you. The drapes are pulled. You can smell that coffee has been made, and it smells like your breakfast is being readied as well. You will take your breakfast in your dining hall. And Maximilian, your dining hall is where we get a much clearer insight into your history, because in this long table, it is set in a room appointed with hunting trophies. But unlike some kind of sporting, noble or some fop who just likes to shoot foxes or deer, the wall is appointed by things like troll heads or chimera heads, or the claws of vicious bandersnatches and similar terrible things. There's also a great deal of dust on them, which again speaks to that things have, time has passed for all things, and seemingly you're not having a lot of people over in your big room. But today's a good day, because today you've got work. You'll be meeting up with other members of the Verdungsmanner, and then you will be heading to a meeting with a client. What do you think Max's morning routine is like, Karl?
Right, so he probably he has his coffee. He makes sure he has his hard-boiled egg. You know, maybe 2 today since he has a meeting. He kind of looks around at the different trophies and notes that he needs to get his servant on a ladder to dust them. It's been some time. He kind of tries to piece through the dream or the howling, but it's always, you can never remember what's going on, really.
And it's one of those things, too, where, you know, one thing in your long and strange life is that you just get used to certain unusual things. And the fact that for as long as you can remember, you've woken to the sound of a howling wolf, that's just how things are. So you don't question it. You don't, you know, trouble yourself with it. You just get yourself ready.
Yeah.
I imagine, like many other aristocrats of this era of your lineage, you probably have a dueling scar of some kind, but you've got that great big mustache,
beard, yeah,
that perhaps grows over. And what do you, if you're taking your coffee outside on perhaps your veranda, you know, when you see any of the monsters' heads too, I think you can kind of remember where, like, oh yeah, that's where that scar came from.
He probably has scars like all over in different places, right?
Oh yeah.
And things that hurt always, joints especially.
Yeah. So, is he the kind of guy who would get himself ready to go early, or would he be just... Yeah. Okay, so you're getting yourself early. You will be meeting up with your colleague Anselm Freund, and it is in La Petite France. La Petite France is the very French neighborhood in and near Grande Ile. It is also really the most scenic. It's where the canals kind of run around from the River Ile as the River Ile makes its way towards the Rhine. It also is a gorgeous summer day. It is going to be a probably warm, but not so warm as to be uncomfortable, but being down by the canals will likely be a lovely day. So if you need to walk around a little bit longer, Anselm can be at times unattentive. So what do we see for Maximilian getting himself ready? Does he have...
Are we allowed to carry our dueling sword?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so he'll make sure that's okay. That's, you know, clean. Take it out, swing it a few times, probably pops his shoulder. As he does that, puts it back in, and, you know, he'll get there. He'll start his brisk walk in that direction. I think.
It is going to be a stunning day in Strasbourg. You can see that there are people out already. There's the smell of the bakeries nearby. And you're going to make your way to cut across to Grande Ile using the Pont de Faison, which is one of the more recently installed foldable bridges. It is something that will actually like scissor its way across. It moves so that the canal traffic can make its way through. You perhaps doff your hat, and as you get closer to Grande Ile, you find there's not nearly as many people on the street. You know nothing about this job that Anselm is calling you to, but it's rarely interesting. It's rare that is uninteresting. It is unfortunately though rare that you do really get to take advantage of what your true strengths are. And I don't know what just happened, but a GM intrusion has just occurred.
Uh-oh.
So Maximilian, I'm going to give you one action point. I'd ask that you give someone else an action point and tell us why, and then I will tell you what happened.
Well, I think since you've only mentioned one of the characters so far, I'll have to give it to a friend, to Anselm.
Okay.
No. Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
So, Maximilian, you don't know what the fuck just happened, but you are now standing in the middle of Pont de Faison. Your sword is out. Your saber. Mm-hmm. It is coated in white frost. There is shattered ice all around you. And there's a cut on your face. And you feel your arm hurts as well, as if something hit it. But you don't recall. And then you hear the sound of a cat. And you're looking back and forth. There are no other people here. There's no sign of what the hell just happened, apart from these piles of busted ice. And there's no sign of a cat. But it definitely sounds as if it would be close enough to touch.
I wheel around. Sword still out.
At that point, I think someone...
Is it like the winter?
No, it's summertime.
No, I know it was summer when we left, but it's like this landscape suddenly winter?
No.
Oh.
So you're looking back and forth, and that's when I think a couple kind of walk around the corner talking to one another, and they see you and kind of, oh! Your sword drawn.
Sorry, just practicing.
And with
play it up.
Yeah, I mean, you've done it so many hundreds of times. Your saber is back in its scabbard once again. Your arm really hurts, though.
Yeah, I look to see if my coat is torn or if...
It is, actually. And there is frost rhyming the side of it.
All right, I kind of dust off the frost. Remark about having to get a tailor on it.
Okay.
Or my butler on it. But what does a tear look like?
The tear, why don't you give us, and so I think that's going to be an intellect check. Do you think you've got...
I have like folk monsters.
Yeah, folk monsters might be...
Here's what that...
Yeah.
It says level training.
So the difficulty of this, sorry, should be... difficulty will be a 2.
Okay.
So because you're trained in that... I actually can't remember. I think if you just click on the skill and put difficulty 2, it'll do the math properly for you. I've got it set, and then if you want to spend effort as well. So the difficulty of 2 would be a 6, but your training will bring it down to a 3.
Well, there's no bonus, right? So what do I do?
No bonus, no.
So I say input bonus. So let me see, submit.
0.
Difficulty.
Difficulty is 2.
Okay, and then submit.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to spend any effort.
Okay.
No.
Oh, your red bar, you guys already may know this. Your red bar is your might, your blue bar is your speed, your green bar is your intellect.
Okay. So I rolled a 4.
Oh, did it show up? Oh, yeah, how about I scroll down? Come on, Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
So that's success. Success is a success. Mm-hmm. So you're looking through, what you can tell, this is not talons that have gone through here. It is not claws. This is something where it's something jagged and sharp that has torn through here, leaving the ragged structure behind.
And other than this, a bit of pain, of throbbing pain, am I actually injured?
No, you haven't taken any actual damage.
Okay.
But you cannot recall where... You don't recall actually walking onto the pont, for that matter.
Yeah, I was walking along the side and admiring the new technology, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
all right, well, this makes me wonder if our mission, whatever we're up against in our mission, already knows that we're going to be up against them in our mission.
Yeah.
But I will press on with more haste.
Okay.
To find Anselm.
Okay. So our scene now changes to the residence of Madame Derville, where she and her ward Wilhelmina reside. I think we hear. Is it Caroline or Carolina?
Caroline.
Caroline. Does Caroline have her servants? Yes, George. I will. Thank you. Does she have her assistants wake up Wilhelmina for important days such as this, or does she wake her up herself?
I think she'll do it herself. She likes a personal touch.
Okay, so you head in, and perhaps we hear in this large, building within La Petite France, we hear Wilhelmina, and then the door opens into this very, almost like blackout curtains are drawn across the what do you call it? The windows. Carolina, you cross this darkened room. We can't really see what's on the floor. They throw them open, and the bed is empty. And you look in the far corner, and curled up with all her bedding and whatnot stuffed in the corner is Wilhelmina. And there is at least one eye that is open. Clearly, she has heard you the entire time.
I will walk over like, Cherie, you have this beautiful big bed. Why are you... We've talked about this.
It's
safe. Did you sleep okay? How are you feeling? We have a big day today.
I'm coming.
Good. I shall go and make sure breakfast will be ready for us.
So as you begin making yourself or getting yourself up, Wilhelmina, what is her kind of morning routine, or your morning routine like? Is she, is she a sullen, preteen who drags her ass the entire time, or is she up now that she's up? Somewhere in between?
I think she's up, but the idea of getting into contact with water in the morning is something that is horrible, but something that needs to be done. So her mood is not the best until she reaches the breakfast table, but then it's okay, I suppose.
So you get up. To add to matters, I don't know what you dreamed of last night, but you can feel the wolf writhing in your stomach today. Something is disquieting about today. And when you make your way down to the breakfast table, Caroline, what does Wilhelmina find waiting there?
A nice assortment of freshly baked goods, orange juice, some fruits. And Caroline will be sitting at the table, and as Wilhelmina walks in, it's clear that Caroline just said something to someone, but there's no one else in the room. But just she has to look towards over her left shoulder and just go like, yes, I suppose maybe today. And then so looks up, Wilhelmina, wonderful, please join me.
Yeah, thank you. I will take a seat and I think I would just stare a little bit at Caroline and then ask, did you feel something too? Something is not right. Something is coming. I can sense it.
I have not. I did not dream as I used to since the incident. Something we should be worried about? Are you nervous about the job?
I'm not nervous. I'm more like something something big is about to happen. I don't really know. It is more like the instinct of the animal inside.
So, Caroline, you were listening to what Wilhelmina is saying, but your eyes are also drawn outside, and you can see that both your gardener and one of your cooks are talking to one another, and they're pointing at something in the garden. And they seem to be like, they're gesticulating kind of in an animated way. Now, you can't quite see, and you certainly cannot hear what they are saying, but...
Given what Wilhelmina just said, I think Caroline will get up and sort of, I'm sure there's like a nice big French double door that leads out onto the back garden. Would sort of open it and, Monsieur, is everything okay?
They look over. I am sorry, madame. There has, what? And he gestures. He says, see for yourself. And you'll have to enter the garden. So making your way to the garden, you walk over, and what you can see is there's a whole bunch of, like, the whole swath of like tomatoes and other, like, blossoming vegetables. They're all fucking frost burn, or like they've suffered frost damage somehow. And
no, Frostburn was right. You said Frostburn. You said Frostburn.
Like, it's as if there was an early freeze and you did not, but it's the middle of July and there's just no reason why this would happen. And if you're looking around, nothing else, there's one patch that seems to have been affected by this. Now, Wilhelmina... So go ahead, David. Sorry.
I think Caroline would just look at it for a moment, and then we'll turn to the house. Wilhelmina, can you come here for a moment, please?
Mm-hmm.
And
So I will
show the patch to her.
I will get up and do as I'm told and as I'm expected.
Okay. Anna says you're doing it begrudgingly. So you make your way outside, and the wolf churns as you make your way towards the vegetable garden. And you see the exact same thing. An early frost seems to have come to one patch of the vegetable garden and to nowhere else. It's plenty warm out here. The sun is shining. You trust your gardener does a good job of things, but... Do you do or say anything?
I think Caroline will sort of look over at Wilhelmina and go like, it's not something I have encountered before, but does this chime with your feeling?
I would just stare very intensely at this frost area, and then try to see if I sense something weird coming from it, other than being frosty in the middle of summer.
Why don't you give us? I think that's probably an intellect check and you've got training in sensing the weird, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead and give us a sense of weird. The difficulty will be 2.
Okay.
I like the results on the character sheet too. That's pretty cool. Like how it shows all the math easily.
Yeah, I agree about that.
18. Very nice. So it's a special. So
A special.
viewing this thing, Wilhelmina, why don't you tell us what it's like when you sense the things of the secret world?
I think if you look into her eyes, you see that they turn a little bit beastish, and then the pupils change the shape a bit, but she's also keen of not letting the gardener and the other person see her eyes in that moment.
Her little cap gets pulled down, maybe?
Yeah.
So you do so, and by shifting, you can see that you don't see it per se, but you can almost sense something passing over here, almost like a light dusting, a feather duster, if you would, just drawn across the garden, leaving a rime of frost in its place. And you can see as well small child-sized footprints of frost that are appearing, and you can quite easily follow into the open double French doors. French double doors. That those words go in some order here. Just you think my German's bad? Wait to hear my English. What you see is those steps begin to make their way towards those open French double doors, and seemingly inside, the wolf churns.
Let's go inside again, Caroline, I think.
If you're keeping your eyes fixed on them, you can see where things go in. It goes inside, and it seems to go upstairs.
Oh, yeah. So there's, when we are alone, I say, Caroline, I see little footprints, like, I don't know, maybe gnomes or something? In the ice.
Yeah, it's ice, like frost-covered. It's like the reverse of what you would see in snow, right? Instead of having melted snow, you're seeing where only the frost is.
Yeah. So let's. They're going upstairs. So let's see.
They go.
You?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, after you can. You make your way upstairs, following the footsteps, which go directly into Wilhelmina's room. And where they seem to stop is standing not at the foot of your bed, but directly in front of where you were sleeping. And then another GM intrusion. Both Carolina and Wilhelmina, each of you gets an action point, and I would ask that you kindly give an action point to someone else.
Okay. So I would like to give mine to to Maximilian, because I think he somehow has started all of this. I'm not sure how and why, but I think it's his.
Okay. And Caroline?
I think I'll give mine to Anselm, because the footsteps and the weirdness reminds Caroline of the stories of Anselm and his walking the wild and walking in strange places and encountering strange things. So her mind would go to him, and maybe, Anselm might know more about what this strangeness is.
It is as happened to Maximilian. Something has happened in your room, Wilhelmina. It is an absolute wreck right now. Your bed the frame has broken. It leans down. The clothes and such are all wild all over the place. You can feel yourself panting in the way that you know you do when you allow the wolf out. And Caroline, you know you have called on the far side of the grave. There is broken chunks of ice sitting around in here, and you have no idea how it got here. And you can hear the sound of a cat. The sound of that, Wilhelmina, the wolf churns. What do you guys do? Looking at one another, you can very quickly see, while not mother and daughter, you guys have lived together long enough now. Neither of you has any idea what just happened.
Yeah. You don't remember anything as well, do you?
No, we just came in here following the footsteps. Sherry, are you okay? You're not hurt or anything?
I'm not hurt, but I wonder if I look at my hands, do I see any residues of blood or something?
No, but strangely, your hands are cold and wet.
I think whatever it was, I think I got through the ice. I don't know what kind of creatures, but they're up to no good.
Yes, I'll have to look at strengthening some wards around the house. Maybe Maximilian will know more. He's a monster hunter after all. Maybe he's encountered things like this before. Or Anselm on his travels. We're running late for our appointment anyways. We should.
Wilhelmina's clothing, if she was in her best before she got, you're going to need a seamstress.
Yeah. I just take some kind of coat, and who cares about this?
Yes.
We'll get broken anyways.
Okay. Then we turn our attention to Anselm Freund. And Anselm, you have the good fortune to live right along Ile Canal in La Petite France. With that view to look out at every day, you might think that you would be spending every waking or every available free moment looking out and just drinking in this gorgeous view of this unique city. And yet, that is not what has your attention. What we find in this well-appointed study full of unusual knickknacks, this is really the set dressers of the witching, what is it called? Conjuring. With all the weird knickknacks that have clear stories behind them. That is precisely what your place looks like. It is just all over. But again, all of that stuff, all those gewgaws and whatnot, your place is also much more heavily maintained or meticulously maintained than what Maximilian's are. The size of this salon would certainly accommodate more individuals in here, which means that you're hosting guests. But again, that is not where we find you. Instead, we find you standing in front of a fireplace over which hangs a somewhat unusual portrait. It is obviously a woman, but the face seems as if one had touched wet paint as it was drying and obscured it enough so you would recognize it as a face, but you could not ever recognize who that person is. She has cascading blonde hair. She is dressed in a sophisticated and tasteful, but also a little bold dress. She holds a staff that seems to be hewn from very new wood. It has not discolored in any way and has kept that, and there is accents of birds throughout it. It is an exquisite piece of work that looks as if the creator had just finished carving the last of the, or engraving the last of the details into this thing before handing it to her for this to be painted. There is behind her or surrounding her ravens of some kind. And sitting in front of this portrait is a very unusual flower in a glass. It looks to be one rose, but it does, on closer inspection, appear to be two, slightly offset and grown together, to the point where not only the stems entwine in a way that is extremely unnatural for that species, it gives the appearance and the dark coloration of an anatomical heart. It is enclosed in glass, and it has no label on it. And Selm, your eyes, as always, when left alone in here, are fixed on the portrait. And your finger idly moves a ring made of silver, of stylized ravens. Precisely. You are staring at this thing, and I can tell you, Anselm, you do not know who this person is. All you know is you love them with a depth and sincerity that will never be matched in Anselm's lifetime. But like some of the other uncertain qualities that your companions deal with, this is one of those things where you have learned to live with. We can assume whatever means you have of trying to solve this secret, to solve this mystery, it's all been expended. What's going through Anselm's mind right now?
That is like an assault to his very being. He prides himself on his mental capabilities, not as an intellectual per se, and I don't think he's very well educated in the traditional sense, let's call it.
Yeah.
But he understands the world in a way that other people maybe don't. And so it's sort of in a way mocking him, and which drives him crazy. And at the same time, he loves it because it's only the things that he can't figure out that he's most obsessed with. Because they provide a challenge that nothing else can. So he can't let it go. And this is part of like the love for this, whoever this might be, is part of the. It's like the Dark Lady. Yeah, like the Dark Lady of Shakespeare. Like, who is this creature?
And that's when you hear kind of a batting, very light batting at the window. Pa, 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 pa.
I think he turns very calmly, and so one of the things he's got is a cane that he kind of walks with, and he's kind of twirling it, and every time you kind of see him when his mind starts to race, that's when he starts to twirl the cane at the same time, like his mind is in movement as well. So he's slow to react to things, but he's always paying attention. So he takes it in for that brief moment and turns to see what is happening.
At the window is a familiar guest.
A sparrow. No, a cat.
A black cat that you know is named Nicodemus. Nicodemus is a common visitor to here, sometimes bringing you strange objects, as cats are wont to do. But you know that one of the unusual things about Nicodemus is that he is a fey cat. Because unless you are attuned to such things, you cannot see him. And it seems as if Nicodemus has once again brought you a gift. If you make your way towards there, you see where he was batting against the window, there is flecks of blood on that. Not so much that his hand is, or his paw would be soaked in it, but enough that just the inevitable consequences of a wild animal doing what it does. And what has been left there as a gift? A single dead brown sparrow.
So I kind of slowly walk up and have my eyes on Nicodemus for a moment. Ah, Nicodemus, what have you brought me today? And his eyes now go to this dead sparrow. And kind of looks over at Nicodemus and looks at the sparrow, and he sort of scoops it up in his hands and looks at it and studies it for a moment, almost with like a sight beyond normal sight. And he turns to Nicodemus as if addressing any other normal person. And he says, Nicodemus, there's special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it not be now, 'tis not to come. If be not to come, it will be now. And if it be not now, yet it will come. And he looks at the lifeless bird, and then to Nicodemus and says, the readiness is all. And he gently places the sparrow down.
Nicodemus has those greenish yellow eyes fixed on you as if he fully understands and agrees with your sentiment.
And he gives a one nod to Nicodemus as if like we have an understanding that transcends language.
And the cat turns and goes off to do whatever cats do. And you hear
I think I have a little bit of a smirk on my face when he does that.
Yeah. You hear a knock at the door. One of your servants.
Not surprising.
Sir.
And I come.
Master von Eichendorff to see you, sir.
Show him in, please.
Okay.
And he's twirling his cane as his mind is spinning, trying to deduce the meaning of this omen.
So Maximilian will, you tell us, Karl, how does Maximilian enter a room?
And I'll tell you, Karl, you know that I'm a weirdo. So just start with that.
Yeah. Oh. You are muted, Karl. So, to Mo?
Yep. So we need to also do something when every time a publication of George Straiten's is mentioned at some point.
Yes. I tend to laugh because he squirms so much when it happens. I can't wait.
I do squirm.
I have a whole month of Wake Star Wars and a whole bunch of George jokes.
Yeah, that makes me want to vote for the West End version.
It's gonna be great.
No.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so I think Maximilian, it looks like he probably has some military training, right? So he's gonna look around here, kind of make sure there's nothing, not to jump out at him, but maybe Anselm is maybe weird. Also falls into the realm of pranks sometimes. So, but he looks around and then kind of marches in a way with a military bearing, and he says to Anselm, I think our target for our client has already started to act. And I showed it my ripped coat.
You may be right. And I think for people watching, like my imagination of like what the personality of Anselm is, not per se what he looks like, is kind of like the Marvel Loki, current incarnation of what from the show, from the TV series. So he's kind of like, he's off, but you know that he's a good person overall, and he's trying to help, but also he can't help but have fun with people in a way. So and he kind of takes things in pride. Exactly. So when you said that, I was like, that's right. Yeah, very good. I see. How did this transpire?
A bridge. Suddenly it was winter on the what the pond? Was it called the bridge?
No,
What
it
the bridge
wasn't
called?
winter. There was.
I know, but he's gonna say that.
Yeah, there was broken
understand that.
ice, but and frost on your sword, but no fallen snow anywhere.
Okay, and then I'll amend that then as it was winter. No, it wasn't winter. There was rime on my sword and broken ice. I am not injured.
Caroline and Wilhelmina, you would hear Max's voice probably down the hall as you're walking in. He mentions the broken ice. So you'd overhear that as the two of you walk into the salon.
Monsieur, it seems we walk with common purpose this morning. You mentioned ice, Maximilian?
Oh, and Maximilian says, "Oh yes, and a cat's meow." I do not know if the cat was the cause of the strangeness or these do not look like this is not a cat scratch. Right.
Anselm, to the best of your knowledge, no one else is aware of Nicodemus.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
I did not see a cat, but
curious.
I heard one.
Yeah, we
Heard it. I see.
Yeah, we heard the cat as well. And there were tiny footprints covered in ice or leaving ice on the ground. It might be gnomes, Heinzelmänner, who knows?
So where is our client? Or do I know? I mean, I don't know.
No, you don't. Anselm is sort of the one who is the main, connection for this. What you will know is that her name is Marta Duquesne. Apparently a wife of a successful chemical engineer and someone with a great deal of money. They do live on, and forgive me, the I can't remember the name of the town. Do either David or Ingolf, do you know what the name of the German town is on the east bank of the Rhine across from Strasbourg? It starts with an F, and I can't remember offhand what it is.
Freiburg?
Is it Freiburg?
Freiburg.
Okay.
Freiburg.
Okay.
It must be something in Baden, so Freiburg is good.
This is what I love about having an international group of players.
Yeah, I know.
Hell yes. If you need to know something in Alberta, boy, do I got you covered. But
That's right. Yeah. Are there cowboys, like people dressed like cowboys at the airport?
Exactly.
Yeah. Obscure European geography for 200.
Yeah. So it will be across the river, and that is where she is located.
I probably misspelled that. I decided.
Duquesne is actually with a Q. D-U-Q.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh, it's probably with a Q. Yeah.
And I think like my mind has been sort of spinning when they were all entering, and then suddenly it snapped into like host like mode. Oh, my friends, I'm glad to see you. Yes, we shall be visited soon. Can I get you something while we await?
So
I'll make sure my servants give them what they need.
While you guys are definitely used to, certain long-term things where there are just mysteries, being attacked and not remembering what that is new, most definitely. That is unprecedented for all of you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not part of the
course.
Were there
any... Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so then my mind is still kind of going, and I say all those things I just said, but like sort of as like a perfunctory thing that I kind of normally automatically do, but I'm actually really focused on what's being talked about. Can you tell me more about this? Was it ice? No, frost, you said. That seems strange, do you not think?
Well, yes. I mean, strange is that I must have attacked something, but I don't remember what. Or something attacked me.
And how much had you had to drink the night before, may I ask?
Just the usual.
Oh, I see.
A sifter of brandy, maybe a cigar.
Anselm, would you
Caroline?
give us...
Yeah.
I think, would you give us an intellect check at difficulty. I think it'll be a difficulty 3, and it's in relation to. Let's see if you can put a connection between the cat sounds and fey cats in general.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Here we go. I'm not putting any effort or anything on this.
It would be.
Here we go.
You could use folk beasts though.
Oh, I can use folk beasts. Well.
Yeah. That would bring a 3 down to a 2. You'd still be off by 1 on that.
Exactly.
You want to spend an action point and reroll?
Oh, I do have an action point thanks to my generous companions.
Yeah.
So I will do so, and I will re-roll that check. And so do I get to keep
click
it
on your train,
one less difficulty?
Folk beasts. And difficulty 3.
The sheet has great. Okay.
Yeah, it'll factor it in for you.
Okay, hold on a second here. Stop, please. Hold on. This roll is going to be off. It won't let me cancel. Oh, here, cancel. Okay, there we go. All right. Folk beast. There we go. No bonuses. Difficulty is 2 instead of 3.
No. It put in 3, and it'll factor in the -1 because of trained.
Oh, it already does. Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay, good to know. Learning the sheet here. Back to folk beasts, and I think I just submit. Okay, 3. There we go. Yes.
So one of the things that fey cats are said to, it's something that is used to slander or tar the brush of other cats. People say that cats will steal the breath of infants in their sleep. That is, of course, nonsense. What is not nonsense is that fey cats can consume memories.
Interesting. Do I know that whether... do I know if oh my god, now what I already forgot my cat's name.
Nicodemus.
Or not my cat, but the cat Nicodemus, thank you.
Yeah.
Nicodemus has done that in the past.
Am
I aware?
He's been coming by to see you, and you're just because of the nature of your experience, you're aware that he is a fey cat. No one can see him, and you know what he can do. You're not really sure what he gets up to when he's not coming to see you, though.
Okay, cool. Bernie, did any of you see? I understand you heard this cat. Did any of you see?
No, it was the strange things. We were in Wilhelmina's room, and even before, but especially since she moved in, we don't keep any other pets around, so there was certainly no cat that should be on the premises.
There's a scene of Wilhelmina with a bunch of yellow feathers out of her mouth, and it
So I'm not sure. I mean, the cat is something, but there was some, I would say, large beasts covered in ice attacking us with ice or something. It's not a small cat. It can't be. My hands were completely wet.
Wet with what? With water
with
or
blood? With the ice that has already was already gone when we got our mind back somehow. So we were in a fight. I'm pretty sure. I know what the room looks like when I was in a fight.
How large would you say this creature was? It was not the size of a house cat.
I guess it was something about our size, maybe? We can't remember. That's our problem.
What you would know, Anselm, is in spite of Wilhelmina has an ability to sense the unnatural, whatnot. She's not seen Nicodemus even when they have been here and things. So, but she does know instinctively when he's present.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Okay. So I think knowing that, I would then say, Wilhelmina, you have sensed a companion of mine in the past. Did you perhaps sense something similar in this instance?
So, Wilhelmina, when I describe the wolf churning... Oh, Anna says hi. That is what you feel. It's not like that's, the presence of Nicodemus. When you have been around Nicodemus in past, you just sense that something unnatural is there, and you cannot see it. That is a feeling you had when you came out of your sensation of the memory gap.
Yeah. So I sensed something was there, and I sensed that when I was here multiple times. But I thought this was something having to do with your experiments. So there's this feeling that there's something around that I can't see. But it was different because this was only when we awoke that I sensed this creature. But before the beast in me could already feel some kind of danger coming towards us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never felt this kind of danger when I came to your house, if I understand correctly.
100% right.
Can I tell Kevin, I probably can't do this, but could I have a sense of maybe how old or how long ago or at what point in the past this Sparrow died? Like, was it in like skeletal form or like the dead
today.
Sparrow? Was it like recent? Today?
The blood on its paw was still damp when it brought you this treasure.
Okay, so I start to kind of like, so once in a while, like he sort of like looks up and twirls his cane again. And I think you guys all know that means like that's thinking. And so almost like a sign to you guys thinking. And then I see, it's very strange. Let me show you something that I have encountered in the hours since we saw each other last. And I point to this dead sparrow, which I think I've placed on like on a windowsill.
Yep.
Because I wanted to be near the sky.
Okay.
This creature was brought to me by my feral companion just before you arrived. Did you see any sort of bird in your encounter?
We have.
I did not.
No memory of it.
Very interesting. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the works of the Bard, but this is about fate. That is what the Sparrow represents, for death will come to all.
Yes, it will.
As we all know. But at what time? Has it been appointed beforehand? Or do we have the ability to change the time of our deaths? More importantly, does it even matter? For we will all die, and that is what we must all accept, but not in a way that is depressing, in a way that should give us leave to enjoy life when we have it. So I do not know what this means, but I do not portend it necessarily meaning something that must happen. For we, the four of us, may have the ability to change the course of fate in this moment, knowing that at some point we shall all succumb. But perhaps we may save someone from what's more important. It's not death that is the problem. It is suffering. that is what we may be able to avoid for someone who needs it. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Let us have wine, everyone. And it's like 10 in the morning.
Yeah. And Wilhelmina's like 11.
Yeah, I think also I would look at Caroline and just expect her to explain to me what Anselm just told us. So,
look, Wilhelmina, have the wine. You will understand. Trust me. I mean, my understanding is that probably drinking at the age of 11 or 12 in Europe at that time probably was not abnormal.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Caroline will turn to Wilhelmina and just not hiding this from Anselm. I don't say it was very deep and meaningful on a topic that I may be a little bit more familiar with than others. The Sparrow is some sort of warning. I wouldn't worry too much about. We will be, it's very, very deep words, but nothing to worry about at 10 a.m. in the morning.
But what about our client? When is our client arriving? That's what's important.
At the appointed time, my friend. When she should arrive. At the moment we need her to, she will arrive. This is all a grand mystery. And this is what makes life enjoyable for all of us, is it not? This is why we've all come together and blended our skills to solve these great mysteries of life, like fate and death, and what is beyond what mortals can see.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, Kevin.
No. That's amazing. Anselm is the embodiment of just a deep sigh. Like, oh, fuck off.
Exactly.
I think Wilhelmina would just sneak over to Maximilian while Anselm is still talking, pull on his sleeve and just ask, do you know anything about ice monsters?
Yes. I do know something about ice monsters.
No.
Wilhelmina. I know much. I have written much about what ice monsters.
She asked Maximilian, not you.
Yeah, I think he knows.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I said
Yeah, I mean you've
I have folk monsters.
Yeah,
No, I don't.
Ice trolls.
I start listing off various creatures.
Yeah.
Ice trolls, frost gnomes, the famed Yeti from Tibet.
Yeah. Killblains. Yeah. So he listed a bunch of different potential monsters from about like 12 different cultures.
Yeah.
He has traveled wide and killed a lot.
So I will see that Wilhelmina. So Ingolf, tell me if I'm wrong. Is Wilhelmina kind of like a little bit freaked out? Oh, geez.
No. I think.
Or what's your? Yeah.
No. In my understanding, so she's kind of a hunter, and so like Maximilian is like the hunter's hunter. So she's somehow afraid of him, but also thinks that he is much more powerful than she is, even in the wolf form. So she would ask him if he knows anything about these kinds of monsters.
Mm. And is she asking because she is curious, or because she wants to know that you can survive against these monsters, or both, or just so is this just FYI? So Anselm is like that person who like is always sussing out everybody and what they're doing and feeling and why they're doing it and why they're feeling that way, so that he can ultimately manipulate everybody. So he can achieve his own ends. I'm asking. And I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I think she's just concerned, and she thinks that. I think somehow she fears Maximilian, but she's also aware that he might be the one who can fight off whatever we are fighting. So, because she doesn't remember, and there was no blood on her paws, I would say, on her fingers. So, she didn't hurt it. So
do we know what Wilhelmina is?
Yeah, I think you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to go ahead.
Yeah. I don't think you know how she got that. I think you know that you remember she was taken in by Caroline as her ward. You're fairly certain she was an urchin of some kind, or a homeless child, or perhaps in a workhouse at some point before. But particulars, it's one of those weird things where if there's a gap in your memory in it, but you don't ever really seem to focus on it. You know that Wilhelmina and Maximilian definitely have an odd connection. It's as you say, Ingolf, when they talk, like he says things and she nods along like a child who has a deep understanding of what he's saying. It's not the like amusing, like, oh yeah, no. And she's like, and then we do what to make sure we get it? Yep, okay. Like a terrifying 11-year-old is basically what I'm getting at. Like, she doesn't even need to turn into an actual, full-on monster to be just absolutely chilling. And speaking of chilling, Madame Derville, you can feel that odd aura that comes from. At first, you think for a moment, oh, it's because the fireplace is burning. Who burns a fireplace in the fucking summertime? And then you see that, of course, there is that huge portrait, and it has a chill to it. For whatever reason, time around there, be it the portrait or that unusual paired rose, there's that strange portrait again of that woman with the missing face.
As Wilhelmina and Maximilian are chatting, Caroline will walk over to Anselm and just sort of stand in front of the portrait and imagine he's close to it and just sort of say, have you figured out who she is yet? No, it troubles you.
Your finger immediately, or your thumb, goes back to your ring.
No. This question haunts me, as you know.
Might be unrelated,
not yet.
But I sense a cold, a chill, and seeing as we've encountered frost and ice earlier today.
Really? Very interesting. Have I ever sensed any kind of like cold or that sort of?
It's weird. Like
emanation?
you just assumed it was a drafty room, but yeah, he's not wrong. Or she's not wrong. It's you do always need to keep a fire going in here for it to be comfortable.
And of course, being who I am, I go, I suspected such, even though I had no idea.
Yeah.
Which is why I always kept the fire going. But this just validates my theories.
You guys can hear a knock at the door. And Anselm's servant is here to introduce Madame Duquesne and her son Felix.
Come, please, enter.
So she comes in, and she is dressed like she probably has not ever had any want for any excess. She's a very clearly rich person who comes from a rich person family who is married into someone who is rich as well. Felix is around Wilhelmina's age as well, but you need not make any rolls to see that, boy, there is a real look of wide-eyed terror in his face. He's just looking around and snapping up to when his mother speaks, to when you guys speak, to when he's introduced. His eyes are following and darting back and forth to everything. And you can see she has her hand on his shoulder as if trying to comfort him. And she pats without saying anything and says, good morning, or guten Morgen. Thank you for seeing me. This is Felix, my son. I have not dealt with this type of matter before, but you come quite highly recommended, Herr Freund. And she taps Felix's shoulder and says, Felix, say hello. And he looks up at her as if still upset and scared and confused. And she points at you. He looks over and he opens his mouth and absolute gibberish comes out. It's not a language at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the pained look on his mother's face tells you all you need to know about the reason why you've been called. Now,
is this a language that any of us have, or at least have I encountered before?
I can tell you it's not a language.
It's not a language, okay.
No.
It's like speaking in tongues kind of thing.
Caroline, you, however, recognize a babble tongue curse when you see one. This is a relatively simple thing, and in fact, given his age and the nature of his cursing, you actually have a suspect in mind. So, if you invite her in, Felix, unfortunately, cannot provide any information. If he does speak once or twice, it's absolute gibberish. It's not a matter that he's speaking a tongue that no one understands or whatever else. It's not language that's coming out of his mouth. It also seems from the confused look on his face, he doesn't seem to be understanding what anyone is saying whatsoever, to the point that he sort of spaces out and kind of stares at the fire while the rest of you are talking.
And Kevin, could I try to call back? I know Nicodemus already took off, but could I try to call Nicodemus back? And this is why. I want to see if the kid can see Nicodemus. But if I can't do that, that's fine.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, what is true of Fey cats is true of cats as well.
Regular cats. Okay, good to know. I get it.
If you want a pet that comes back when you call, you best get yourself a dog.
Get a dog. All right. So we all get it. Okay, yeah. Good to know. All right, great. Okay, so, but do I recognize anything about what his demeanor is, or his like this strange way of speaking, etc., from anything that we've encountered previously, or this is like a totally new thing that's like what's going on here? Like, and I'll tell you why I'm asking, so that you can, like, I'm just figuring out, like, can I help him in any way? Like, can I make him feel better or feel it more at ease? Or anything we can all do to, like, kind of just, like, help him out right now in this moment?
So, you would want to defer to Caroline about that, because she is the one who is the kind of resident magician. What I can tell you, Caroline, is that I mentioned that you have a suspect in mind because in town, or on the outskirts of town, there is an old conservatory that was damaged during the Prussian War. The conservatory was never repaired, but there is a witch, a local witch, who goes by the nickname Mirror Mad Manon. She has a odd way of taking in strays. To keep children safe, she keeps them trapped in mirrors. Their ghosts are free to go and whatnot. And at the time of the war, there was a lot of orphans. There was a lot of kids that were there who likely would have starved or died or otherwise. And in a way, she maybe thought she was saving some of them. Unfortunately, she didn't stop. And one of the ways to find, if you find yourself lacking in stray children, is to give them reasons to be alienated. And there is no crueler way of doing that than making it so they can neither understand what anyone is saying except for Manon, and that they cannot communicate with anyone.
From that, does Caroline know if the curse extends to written communication? Or is it just speaking?
Yeah. Yeah, it is an insidious, fey affliction that just makes it so no form of communication is really viable, except for, of course, Mirror Mad Manon.
And would she need to have been close to him to enact the curse?
Yes, I mean, close enough to have had like an encounter with him. She would not do it from a distance. And if you ask Madame Duquesne what happened, what she can tell you is, or Fraulein Duquesne, she is married to a German, she would tell you that he was playing in their estate. He was playing in their kind of the woods they have on the grounds, and that's when he came back in, and this has been a week. He has been assessed by all the best physicians that they can. The alienists have examined him. No one can determine what has gone wrong. Herfreunde has been referred as a place of last resort. We do not know what happened to him, but we cannot. Nothing else seems to explain. And before they undertake more extreme options, such as experimental surgery or housing him at a sanitarium, they're throwing, kind of a Hail Mary here to come to you.
I have good news for you, Duquesne. There will be no need for experimental surgery or for sending your son away. I believe I know what has happened to your son, and it is within our purview to hopefully help him. This will come as a shock to you, but you know the old tales about the witches and such. I believe your son has been cursed.
She is extremely relieved initially, and then when you say she's been cursed by a witch, she kind of and looks around at making each of your faces and realizing that each of you has a stoic expression on your face. No one's pulling. She says, a witch? Like Hansel and Gretel?
Yes. And kinder in a sense, but also more cruel. Misguided. But I think we can help your son, which is the important part.
How? Please. My husband will pay whatever you ask if you can restore our Felix.
Does Caroline know how one would break such a curse?
You may wish to have a word with Manon, because she is the one who has mastered this. She will be the one to unwork it, which usually will involve some kind of bargaining.
Leave it to us for now. There are things we need to look into and things we need to do. For now, take your son home, look after him. It is troubling, but this can be fixed.
She just slumps and comes and takes your hands and brings them in and is so grateful, so thankful. The same for you, Anselm.
I add, like, you are more than welcome to stay here if that is better for you while we are off pursuing this.
Is it dangerous? Is Felix in more threat?
I would not worry. We have dealt with this sort of thing before, and it's always worked out well, hasn't it, my friends? Right?
Well, we are still alive.
See?
Thank you. She will take Felix back home. Because he can't communicate, at least being in a comfortable and familiar surrounding seems to calm him more. So they do so. We can see their carriage depart to head back to Freiburg. Freiburg, is that right?
Yeah, it might also be Offenburg if you are with So F depends on starts with F or it has an F in it. So
I believe the one I was thinking of starts with an F.
Yeah, then Freiburg or Freudenstadt.
Oh, Freudenstadt. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Yeah. Somewhere across the river is where they're headed. Welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel's geography section of our game.
I do ask, Madam Caroline, is this woman difficult to deal with?
They don't call her Miramad Manon for nothing. She means well in a twisted way, but yes, she can be reasoned with. But there'll be no doubt a bargain, something she will want in return. There's always a price to pay, as we know.
So is she capable of this ice magic that we've been experiencing?
It is not her style, I would say. Capable, possibly, but that's not her concern. She is all about saving children and keeping them safe from the horrors of the world. I've not heard of her using ice, things like that, no.
Well, I guess our task is to go and speak with her. Or would you prefer speaking with her, especially look at Anselm?
Yes, I think Anselm might be best placed to speak to someone like Manon.
Oh, I love speaking with Manon.
In the event that things... Manon is not the most stable nor safe to be around. There's a reason that she's still running around, so...
Yeah, that was sarcastic. That was my sarcastic response.
So would that... you may wish to... I would not say that someone as damaged as Manon, that it's fun to beat an answer out of her, but she is quite dangerous and quite capable as a witch, as far as they go.
We should go forward.
I guess what I meant is that the look was to so Anselm doesn't insult her or twist her words around or get her twisting around. And it was more like, and then I was going to say, no, Anselm, we're the backup. Madame Caroline, who may have a relationship and a rapport with this woman, we'll talk to her.
Ah, I see. So I should make the introductions and begin the conversation, but then, at the appropriate moment that we all agree on, Caroline would take over for me. Is that what you're suggesting?
No, Anselm. That is not what I'm suggesting.
So, and he laughs like, yes, I understand. Good. You are not wrong, my friend. We know each other too well.
So then, anything you wish to do before heading to the conservatory?
I mean, to me, as long as the child is not in imminent danger of something terrible happening to him, that I have anything I can do about it, I'm kind of just on board with going forward with everybody else. Anybody else have anything they want to do? Anything they want to do before we head out?
Could you fight a snowman? Is what I'm wondering.
Me?
Or anyone?
Well, that is a good question. Of course, it is not for me to fight anyone. I can give you some information, perhaps. But...
Yeah, but when you build a snowman, then it's gone a few days after that. So maybe it's something like that.
Very interesting, little Mina. You're very promising. You're very, very promising. I think you were taking after me. Which is totally wrong, but that's what he says.
I think Maximilian will say, no, Anselm. Wilhelmina is a hunter at heart.
Perhaps. Perhaps. We shall see.
Wilhelmina? The wolf.
Yeah, we're talking about you in third person, you're not there.
Yeah.
Whoa. Then we see the four of you driving or along in the carriage to reach the outside of the conservatory. The conservatory is a very large 2 or 3 storied structure, now sadly abandoned and damaged on the exterior, but still full of a wide variety of preserved specimen that now have a very disquieting appearance. Cobwebs, dust, and other the vicissitudes of age, 50 years of sitting, or 30 years of sitting idle. There are semi-skeletal birds and other stuffed beasts that fill this place. It, strangely though, has not been rebuilt or torn down or repurposed. It's just one of those things that where the secret world extrudes itself onto yours, and people just overlook it without questioning. What are you guys bringing with you? Is there anything you wish? A reminder, each of you have ciphers, and each of you has one relic. So
I'm bringing everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring again. Like Maximilian, is a tactician. Of course, that doesn't mean you guys can follow his, his suggestions, but he will bring, he will even, it's a conservatory, right? Does that really have like birds and stuff in it like this?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So he is gonna, he is gonna bring his hunting rifle, because you never know when you might want to shoot some doves.
Yep.
Or something larger.
Yep.
So yeah, he is going to, we're going out to the country, so of course we're going to go hunting, because that's what we do.
Okay.
So he is going to bring a soldier's cloak as well.
Yeah. So you've got yourself all kitted up.
Mm-hmm. That's what that does.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it doesn't. 1 in 100. Okay.
Yeah.
I really like how the character sheet's set up.
I know, it's kind of cool. Yeah. It's cool mechanic.
So as you guys arrive, what is the thought for how to enter this dilapidated place and how to find Mirror Mad Manon?
Maybe I think Maximilian would like to I
think both Anselm. Do you see someone moving in there? And with the wolf churns. Something unnatural is nearby.
Yeah, something is already noticing us, I suppose. Something unnatural is on its way to us.
And Anselm, at first you think your eyes are playing tricks, and you realize once the carriage pulls up in front of this empty and cavernous derelict, you see that there are 2 small forms, children, but almost translucent and deathly gray. You would know ghosts. Oh, George, you are either muted. Everyone toast? Timbo!
Let's see. It's not me. It's my headphones that don't work. So can you hear me now?
We can. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So you would know they are ghosts.
Yeah. So, but do I look around at my companions? Do they seem to notice them?
No.
Okay.
You can tell Wilhelmina is looking over as if something is, not right. But because you just you've done something or achieved something or undertaking some rite or ritual. You're able to see the unseen.
Okay.
So.
You're right. So I kind of look at them and say, I see dead people.
And Caroline, that tracks with what Manon will do. She keeps them safe in her mirrors.
So I think Maximilian would want to go around the place, like just scope it out. Yeah, I guess, as a hunter would.
Yeah. So
but he, I guess, based on the conversation, I think that Madame Caroline knows this woman, or at least, I don't know if they've encountered each other before, but maybe.
Yeah, maybe let's. Caroline, how do you feel about Mirror Mad Manon, knowing what you know about her and her circumstances?
I think there's a sense of sadness. So I think the way Caroline sees it, and as someone who has made deals in difficult circumstances, she admires the drive to keep children safe, but obviously the way she goes about it is sort of anything but the right way. So there's sort of a sorrow, maybe an admiration for how powerful she is, the things she can do, and almost a professional, you want sort of medium to a witch. But I think ideally Caroline would, if she could, free the children or stop anyone like Felix falling prey to Manon. But she's a very powerful witch, so this is to be approached very cautiously.
So, Maxim,
would Caroline know? And I'm not sure if we've maybe met before, but would there be a way of, if one goes to visit a witch in her abode, is there sort of forms to be observed to start off on good terms?
Yeah, I think like one witch to another. Yeah, I would agree that there's like, if nothing else, a lot of these things are governed by very specific but kind of arbitrary rules. So that would make sense. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Which is a thing Caroline will stop Maximilian from just charging around with the big bore
we see
elephant
Maximilian's
gun.
loading up his elephant gun.
And will walk up to the main entrance to the conservatoire and will draw her ritual dagger, remove one of her gloves. Her skin is slightly more pale than it, especially in the height of summer, should be, and then will sort of draw a drop of blood and let it sort of fall within the threshold of the conservatoire and say, Manon, a piece of me for some of your time. We seek to speak.
Caroline, you can hear the sound of children laughing. And then the sound of bare feet kind of run away. And Salm, you can see that they've run further inside. The doors open up on their own. And Salm, you can tell there's no unseen children who have done that. And Caroline, you can feel that there's not the presence of, there's no other sound that has brought that. Wilhelmina? The wolf churns.
At that point, I would say the wolf is howling inside of me. Something is very dangerous.
Remember, friends, become as guests for now.
So we stick together, you think, just in case?
Oh yes, absolutely, Maximilian. Don't go wandering off by yourself in a witch's lair.
She's not wrong.
Okay.
So if the four of you...
we follow your lead and advice, Madame d'Urville.
So I think the proper term for her, my grade school French kicking in, is Madelle, because she is not married.
Mademoiselle, yes.
Mademoiselle, okay. I think Madelle is maybe a North American thing. It's like Ms. Because you have Miss and you have Madame. Ms. was the intermediate. Yeah.
I'm
you know,
American.
In retrospect, this could be fucking Quebecois French that I'm learning, right? This could be gutter ditch French.
Yeah, it's Acadian, right?
Oh, the Acadians are actually separate from...
okay.
Yeah, from... The Acadians were the ones who ended up getting relocated, or some of them relocated down to Louisiana.
Louisiana, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, a different part of France that the Quebec and Acadia were from. My undergrad was actually at Acadia University in the same region.
Oh, wow. Look, we are all learning something new every day.
Absolutely.
This is all about history. Join.
It's not just a bunch of games. You're getting geography and history.
Exactly. So as you're stepping into the conservatory, and as David so eloquently put, the lair of a witch, why don't we take our mid-session break now, and then we'll come back because we're already on mid-session.
I know, it's crazy.
So for those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily.
I'm gonna drink a Schafferhofer. I don't know if these
Yeah,
are
Schäferhofer Weizen. Schäferhofer Weizen.
yeah.
Nice.
Flavored white beer.
Oh, Weissbier. So okay.
Well, it says Hefeweizen beer. So but
Hefeweizen.
yeah, it's wild cherry. So it's more like a Radler, I think. Or flavored Hefeweizen.
I think I
didn't have anything to cheers when we cheers Mo.
Cheers. I would say in Germany this would be called an abomination. So if you put
they're the ones who invented these things. Putting fruit in beer like Radlers and
so a Radler is
putting Coke in beer and lemonade in beer.
Is Fruity from Belgium, or is it Fruity? Is that raspberry beer?
Which
That
one?
sounds good.
I mean, Belgian. Yeah, the Belgians do a lot of weird things. They do the open fermentation thing.
They do a lot of stop. We'll just leave it there.
And I could be wrong, but I feel like Karl, you may know more about beer than the rest of us, maybe. And I mean, like in a good way, like and understanding what you're getting.
You should know about whiskey more than the rest of us.
So that's a good. So no is the answer, but I have been schooled by my Scottish friends.
Oh, there you go.
And how I'm like a lame person because I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I put an E in it because my Irish relatives brought it over, and that's totally wrong. And so I spent a night with them, two good friends who are our age, so not young spring chickens, and we sampled all different kinds of whiskeys, and I had no idea what the breadth of tastes there were. And they're like whiskey aficionados, like they go on trips,
Wow.
check out different, the peat where that whiskey was like brewed and like how that affects the smokiness and whatever. And I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying, but like they said things like
no,
that.
that's probably right. I mean, there's single potato vodka that exists, so.
And it was the word
peat from the square foot.
it was
square
like
meter.
And they had totally different tastes, so it was really interesting. And I was like, look, I cannot keep up with you, so please just give me like the least possible amount at a time. But I did try a wide variety, and like they all were completely different. That was what was really interesting about it, because like in my mind, like the idea of whiskey was like it's just this one. It's like one thing. But it's not. It's like such a variety of things. So it's just like wine is or anything. And of course, I should have known that, but I had no idea. So it's very interesting. And I developed an appreciation for I still have never had another shot of whiskey since that moment 2 years ago. But because I know that I cannot handle it. But I was at least I was educated about what was different about it, and like the appreciation for like what different distilleries were doing to kind of craft like the taste they were going for. It was really, really interesting, and it was all the way like top to bottom, all the different things you can do. Every choice made a different taste. So like anything that we all do, any of our jobs that we do, and that like that one little thing makes a difference. Any little thing along the way does make a difference. Was really interesting. It's not these big giant buckets I think we kind of all think about when it's outside of what we do. So it was really interesting, and I'm sure that applies to everybody here, or anybody watching or whatever. Like, it's not so. It really, once you are in the kind of area, it kind of really comes down to very specific details about the choices that you make along the way, about how it turns out ultimately. So it was really interesting metaphorically that way. So I developed an appreciation, even though I didn't particularly like it. I got it. I got what they were saying. Yeah. So that was very, very interesting. But I'm considered lame here. That's the thing. That's the main point that we all need to know.
If it helps, James told us yesterday that he can't handle Drambuie anymore because of his stag party. So we are joking that that's the reason he has to live in the Netherlands, is because he's been kicked out of Scotland for being unable to handle Drambuie anymore.
Okay, I feel better then. I feel a little bit better.
So then,
Well, although I may have to room with you coming up, we'll see.
So then, what you guys find as you step in here is very much like you see in the illustration, with stuff set up only covered, like with birds that are set up as if they're in flight and whatnot, and there are similar like natural history kind of displays in here, but they are covered in cobwebs or draped with large canvases atop them, and there are also an inordinate amount of mirrors that are set up in here. Wide variety, from small little hand things on the side to larger things you would hang on a wall, ones that would be suitable for a like a lady's powder room, to others that would be appropriate to the to hang in the dining room or some other large space, or even behind a saloon perhaps. And
but in a way that's not normal, right?
Definitely,
like
they're
beyond,
all over the place.
Yeah, okay.
All of them are set in a place where they do seem to be fairly secure. And as you look in one of them, what you can see, whatever reflection you're seeing, you are seeing a child in it as well. So if you're looking at one on the ground, there might be as if it was a window, but it's not. A child crouching down and kind of crouching down and watching you guys. One at
different children, or one the same child over and over again?
Different children.
Different. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And do I see myself as a girl in the mirror, or something else?
You see yourself as a girl, but what you can see, and this is emphasized as you walk in, with the light coming from behind you, there is an enormous shadow of a wolf directly ahead of Wilhelmina. But that's nothing unusual for you guys. So as you step in, you can just feel, those of you who have a feeling of the unnatural will definitely feel his presence here. Stepping over the threshold most certainly means you are moving into a witch's home. And you can each hear the sound of bare feet running, off to the left into the darkness, and the sound of children laughing. Anselm, you are the only one who can see that it is their ghosts moving around in here. They all seem very pleased and very happy.
Oh, is that I would think would be abnormal, that they seem pleased if they're a ghost, or no?
Ghosts come in all sorts of varieties. The fact that these are universally, these kids all seem happy, both in their reflections and the ghosts themselves. Maximilian, I think you're the only one without a direct sort of like ability to sense the unnatural, but boy, your hunter's instincts sure have the hair at the base of your neck up. What do you guys do?
I kind of looked at Maximilian at this point. Like, feel like my expertise is more in information than like strategy. Maximilian, what do you think?
I'm trying to piece together how everything, the strange events of today are related, but I guess we need to talk to the witch here and help our client, and then we will see.
You hear a voice, a woman's voice, from somewhere high up in the conservatory, one of the second or third floors. You were welcome here, sister. The hunter and the beast are not.
I make a curtsy, just because I think that is expected. So you want us to leave? Then we shall go.
You are here now, beast. Stay. I could find room for you, or part of you.
This one already has a home, sister. This one already has a home.
You've claimed yours. I see you, sister,
And you have brought him. She said you would come. Do you remember, Anselm? She said you would not.
Looks over at Anselm with a slight querying look. Well, here we are, and we wish to speak to you about one of your charges.
One of my charges. They are mine. You have yours.
One of your future charges, then. A boy called Felix.
I know no Felix. I have no Felix.
I think while Caroline's talking, like, I'm just scanning just to see if I see anybody who looks like Felix.
So you're looking around, and there's no children you can see that match Felix. And it's, you know that the whatever hex that she uses to get the kids into the mirrors, that'd be separate from the Babbletongue curse. That would be something that would just be, that's her way of sort of reeling them in, as it were, right?
Yep.
Alienate the children and then bring them in.
So I will just then keep an eye on whether I see somebody entering that's, a new child of any kind. While this
so you may have missed
happening.
then. Did you hear what she asked you?
No, I missed it.
So Anselm was kind of looking around, Caroline. You realize that he may have missed what she said.
Yeah, sorry.
She asked you if you remember, Anselm.
Your girlfriend, the thing in the picture, the.
I take a closer look. I don't think I recall a specific memory, right?
No, you have no idea what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah.
You can hear peals of laughter just carry across the top.
and that voice doesn't sound familiar to me either, right?
Not at all.
Yeah. So I turn back to them and say,
I mean, it's sort of like bog standard, or standard issue witch laugh.
it sounds like a night hag kind of, which is
when you sign up, two things. Here's
impressive.
your cauldron, here's your mad cackle. Go ahead.
Yeah, and here's your broomstick as
Exactly.
a bonus. If you sign up for a 3-year deal, no.
Exactly.
So I kind of take that all in and say, and again, like I think in general, what my companions know is that, like, he's quick on his feet when it comes to social interactions, but when he's in his thought process, it's kind of slow. So he kind of slows down for a moment as you kind of say that to him, and he's looking around and figuring things out. His mind is whirling, and he's twisting his cane, and then he like locks back eyes with you and says, "This is not anything I am aware of, or anyone, as you are suggesting."
You can hear the
However,
laughter once again from atop, and she says,
Sister, you claim yourself a bargainer. Nicodemus and the old troll have made fools of you. But I remember my children tell me.
And yet, there are things that are familiar to me on a, let us call it, metaphysical plane. But I do not know this voice, yet it may have something to do with that picture you are referring to. I cannot help you at this moment.
laughter just carries
pay deeper
across
attention.
the ceiling.
You're a
Yeah.
fool, bargainer.
do I have any experience dealing with witches in general, or is this?
Yup.
Or just
They
like
are
more
insufferable to deal with.
And so yeah, well, I could tell that already.
Yeah. She's also the thing
Like
she's talking
lawyers.
about. Carolina.
Yeah.
Caroline, you could give us a magical knowledge. So she is a 5. The difficulty would be 5 in this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you work together, perhaps, and compared notes with Anselm, that might bring it down by 1. That would give you the asset,
do that.
I think it is. And then your magical training might bring that down by 1 as well. But she's seeming to... She said some stuff here that perhaps you can make some sense out of. Anna says good luck as well.
Thank you, Anna. Where it asks for bonus, would that then be a 1 for the asset, or do I leave that on 0?
Ooh, let's try it as a 1. Yeah, I think it's a 1.
And then difficulty 5.
And then do you wish to give any or spend any effort?
Do it! Come on!
So
let's spend some effort.
As a reminder, you subtract whatever you're spending. Every 3 you spend will reduce it by 1, but you also get to discount that by your edge.
Yeah.
And you do have an intellect edge of 2.
So that would be difficulty 4.
Yeah, and you're capping out at effort 2, so there's maximum of 2 levels.
I'll use 1 level of effort for now.
1 level? Okay, so it costs you only 1 intellect then.
Yeah. Oh no, let me do that again. Effort, 1, oh no, okay. So it brings up asset as a separate
Oh, okay.
thing it asks for, so again, sorry about that.
That's okay.
And asset 1, there we go.
Nat 1, baby!
GM intrusion.
Now, would you care to spend your action point to re-roll that?
I'm gonna go with
Come
no.
on, let's have some fun. Yes.
Because I think
page.
Caroline is feeling out of her depth dealing with Manon, and now I think in her mind, but it was going to be sort of almost easy. It's just like, lift the Babel curse, we'll do something for you, sister. And now she's like bringing in Anselm and the strange, Wilhelmina mentioned a strange painting, and it's all a bit like, with this Nicodemus.
As you're trying to pick through things, you're talking to Anselm and trying to gather a bigger picture. You are hammered by some kind of unnatural attack, almost like a curse backfiring on you. You can make an intellect defense, but it is against a 5.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you're got any training in that. Your magical training would apply.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Difficulty 5. Ooh. Okay. So you are.
Yeah, so I don't know, but David, you also have an action point, and you get another because you took the intrusion.
Oh yeah, they did not one. I don't think you have a choice on ones. You automatically get. I get an intrusion, don't I?
Yeah, but you.
He also gets an action point. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got my cheat sheet here. Oh no, it doesn't.
No,
She makes a free
No.
intrusion and doesn't award X.
That should be a rule.
This is the way I like interpreting rules. Like, fuck it, this is what it should be.
That's a natural 1, though.
I'm fine with it. With you also getting that too. So that's a fail. So unfortunately, you take 5 points of damage to your intellect.
Thanks.
As you stagger forward, and the only upside to it, you have one name in your mind, and it's almost like you have never felt this cold in your life, Caroline. And the name is the Earl of Cold Blooms. And you can just hear her. Manon is laughing like crazy right now too.
So, seeing that, are we fighting? Is that?
Caroline just probably dropped to her knees. That was
Yeah,
it.
there's sort of like a clutching her head, stumbling slightly.
Can we see the witch?
You can try and spot her.
Okay.
So if you got any kind of, that'll be an intellect check, and you can use, and if you got any training in anything that you think would be appropriate, go ahead and use it.
I don't think so.
The difficulty here would be a 4.
Okay. Let me see. Tracker. No, tracker wouldn't.
Tracker might. I'd let that apply. Sure.
Okay.
And could I potentially, because I could automatically see sort of unseen things, like point out?
There's a
something
difference
to
between seeing the
Maximine, or-
unseen and seeing concealed
Like someone's
things.
hidden. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice, and a 17. Okay, so yeah, you can see she is moving around 2 levels up, and let me show you.
so I think I will. Yeah. So if I can see her, if I'm allowed, I'm going to make her my quarry for 2 intellect.
Hell yeah! So you've got her marked, and let me give health bar on her too.
Yeah. So I reduce the pool, right?
Yes, you do. Reduce the pool.
Okay. Okay. Not the actual intellect yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have
Oh,
any
you went
edge in
the
intellect?
wrong way.
No, I
think.
do not have an edge in intellect.
Oh, you used the wrong. Whatever you did was the opposite of what you were trying to do. If you do in your token, that'll update properly. It's like c'est là. There you go. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the pool, we don't mess with the pool. We just mess with the current. Got it.
Yeah.
I
So
got it.
just use your token. Your token will update to the character sheet.
Right. Cool.
Okay.
Good.
So,
I do
right.
not have an edge on that.
yeah. So you have her in, and she's racing back and forth up there. Cackling.
I guess I level my rifle because I did bring it, but I point out where she is at.
Let's roll some initiative.
Okay.
Anna says, "Good luck."
But just to be clear, I mean, what exactly happened? I mean, I understand that our characters do not really know, but I think it is not like this witch attacked Caroline.
Nope.
It is something she did by herself. So
Yeah. So let's do it. It seems like I can see.
Well,
how,
I don't know if I'm going to necessarily shoot, but just in case, I'm
Yeah.
going to say something. I'd rather
yeah.
say something rather
Some of
than
you are
attack,
trained.
right?
Initiative is on everyone's character sheet. The difficulty for this would be a 5.
Oh, it let me put unknown in, so I did put unknown before.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. So it
that
gives you
we
the-
can. Yeah, lets you put unknown if the GM knows that you don't know.
Oh, so it beats difficulty 1. Okay. I'm curious to see what the outcome for
But
the
I
other.
can redo it, Kevin. if
Yeah,
that's
try
better.
redoing. Let's see what comes up in the.
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And initiative is based on speed. Is that right?
Initiative is a skill that all of you guys have on your character sheets. The
Yeah.
top one.
But how is speed?
There we go.
And
Here we
you
go.
are-
No assets, nothing. This is what happens. Let's see what happens here. Oh, yeah.
I failed, so I go
Right.
after.
Okay.
Well, you didn't fail. You just didn't roll as high as you might have.
No, it's like it's like
Yeah, the way it works is.
the way it works. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
I said the
Just
way it
make you
works
feel
is.
better.
Yeah, you either. It's a question of whether you're acting before or after the adversaries. Okay. Anyone spending action points to. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's probably better that I go last because if it's resolved peacefully, then
You have
I
to
won't.
blow her head up.
Yeah.
Anselm, you're up first. What are you doing? And I'm
So,
not only putting us in this order
I-
to move things along.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you guys have to fight.
No, so actually, well, here's what I'm going to do, which is not fighting, because that's not my forte, is I say, please, we are not here as adversaries. We are here as emissaries. To treat with you. Let us have a conversation. So I'm using my demeanor of command,
Okay.
which for an hour, everyone who sees or hears assumes I'm someone important or accomplished.
Okay.
I'm speaking with authority, which cost me 2 my intellect points, which I shall spend. to do so, but I have an intellect of 2, so it cost me 0 to do. So that is my objective here. So,
does the edge reduce the cost of powers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, which is one of the great things. So as you kind of level up, some of your powers become automatic, sort of like,
that's awesome.
cantrip.
Okay, so you've got that. You can still take an action. That one I don't think takes an action to do.
I think it does. It just doesn't.
Enabler means it doesn't take an action.
But I think it just makes me like I can make a roll to try to deceive her essentially, because I'm not super important. So it's not a separate action.
Stripped down to the thing, it's not an action. It just grants you a free level of effort. You could then take an action, like for instance, fast talk.
Yes, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a fast talk action. Okay. I was going to do deception, but you're right. I'm going to do fast talk instead.
Okay.
With 1 asset or 1 level reduced of. Yeah. Why is that not happening?
So it's a 4 for her to resist this stuff.
My sheet is. No, I can't. All right, let's see. Oh no, wait. Fast talk. So yes, fast talk is a different thing. That is a different special ability I have.
Yeah.
So it has to be like deception kind of, or something, or just an intellect
fast
roll.
talk. When speaking to a non-hostile creature, you can convince the creature to take 1 reasonable action in the next round. If what does he want to do?
I was using demeanor of command, which cost me 2 intellect.
Right, but all that does is it grants you a level of effort for the next hour.
So fast talk. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. So what? But when I click fast talk, nothing happens.
Right, because you got to decide what
the dice.
You're gonna have to use your intellect, and if there's a skill that's appropriate, you can use that.
I don't have a skill that's appropriate. I don't think so.
Don't you have influencing others through manipulation or powers?
Oh yeah. I was looking at deception. Yeah, I'm back and forth between my actual PDF, which normally I have printed out, so I don't have to go back and forth.
I will say these sheets are actually pretty good for reading from it, unlike a lot of them. If you want to read what the whole power is, just hit the little arrow on the right side.
It's not that, it's me. it's my own problem with the inability to read things on a screen. Okay, what is my difficulty right now?
Difficulty is a 4, but it'll be, you got 1 level of effort already.
Okay,
and then you can choose to give further effort if you'd like to.
I'm going to start with this and let's see what happens.
Okay. There you go.
Nice.
All right.
What is it you say?
I say, we are here to speak with you, not to engage in a duel of violence with you. Let us talk. There is something to be gained on both our sides, I believe. I'm just trying to get, basically my intention is to get her to sort of like calm down to see if I can de-escalate the situation before it evolves into like total violence.
Sure. She is still laughing up there.
Yeah. Okay. That doesn't surprise me, but I had to try.
You succeeded. Just because she's laughing, she hasn't had a turn yet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Caroline, what are you doing?
Caroline will right herself, maybe by putting a hand on Maximilian, just like steady herself against someone quite sturdy and present, and say, we're here as friends. That this wasn't her. Has anyone heard of the Earl of Cold Blooms before?
The laughing stops. The wolf churns. Wilhelmina, you know that name, but you don't know why. Do you do anything else, Carolina?
No, I think that'd be her. She'll steady herself and she'll just try and help diffuse the situation because she knows this wasn't Manon's doing.
So Manon runs forward to the edge of the ledge she's on and leans over. And she says, "You know that name.
Then you know.
Yes.
My children tell me Nicodemus would try and trick them. But he does not know I told the successor to the Sparrow Hag. She is the one who she knows, and she knows my tricks.
None of you have
First
heard.
of all, I would hire Kevin to do voiceover for anything I worked on. But more importantly, right now, have I ever encountered somebody who has said the name Nicodemus prior to this?
Other than you knowing the name of your cat? No.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
There's also,
I mean,
I know you had an audio issue for a moment there too. She made mention to Nicodemus and the old troll.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. I'll let other people take their turns and then come back to me.
She is not hostile.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wilhelmina, your guts are still weird at the mention of the Earl of Cold Blooms.
I don't really know what's going on, but it seems that this Earl, whatever he is some kind of enemy of mine.
Manon throws her head back and is cackling, laughing, almost like railing the banister, Ultimate Warrior style, as she's laughing away, and then leans forward and says, "Oh, my child! Oh." Max?
I say enough of riddles, Mad Manon, please. And I stop leveling the gun at her, though she's still my quarry. I go, please, we want to help this boy Felix. If you have cursed him, we will help you against this Baron Cold, Earl of Cold, if you help us. I do have pleasant social interactions.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you give us it'll be an intellect check.
I mean, I may be totally wrong. I think that my line of reasoning for the players is, I think she has cursed the son that is our client that we want to save. Perhaps she doesn't like this cold dude, and we can help her against him. And this cold guy apparently has been attacking us. So, all right.
Or they're kind of adversaries.
Yeah, they're adversaries. Yeah, we're in some sort of fairy war. As usual.
Yeah. That's my guess.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. I think that's well enough, especially with you lowering the gun and suddenly dropping into, crisp, German manners.
Yeah. I'll flurry with. I'll do a bow. Yeah. I won't call her Madam Manon. She's Madam, right? Is she Madam? Maybe. I use some sort of. Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be married. Doesn't seem to be a Mr. Mirror Mat around.
So either Mademoiselle, whatever is appropriate, Mademoiselle or Madam. Bow and.
So she
still
fixes,
looking at her at the corner of my eye.
She fixes her eyes on you. And she says,
Nicodemus, he thinks to trick him.
But then she will be lost. And you guys can all see that she seems to be fixing her eyes on Anselm.
So I guess I look at Anselm.
It's the Sparrow Hag. She knows my tricks, and she wished to see you all.
Can we all hear this, or just Maximilian? Yeah. All of us can hear her.
All of you guys can hear her, yeah.
So I'll lock eyes with Maximilian when he turns around to look at me. And I give that sense of I have no idea, but this is bad.
She fixes her eyes on you, Maximilian.
Your old foe will return. The county of Far Winters. It must remain his prison. Nicodemus' schemes, but would cost his own kin, and hearts would be broken. Do as the Sparrow Hag asks. Find the old troll. Take his sinister eye and bring it to the Sparrow Hag. She will make things right for him and for her.
And at that, there is a door at the far end of the chamber that you're in. Opens up. And what sits beyond is another wisely named handout.
Yeah, Kevin style handout is what I call it.
So one shot. The chances of me losing it, it's only about 50-50.
No. I will say I have taken this cue from you, and I do this when I run a game. Like I run it like
Awesome.
something like that. Yeah, it's true. And they're like, "What?" Everybody's like, "What? WTF?" Like,
That's great.
it's true.
So she, with her eyes wild, and the kids, and some seemingly they're ghosts looking in. They wish to know what you would like to do.
I guess we're going to go meet the Sparrow Hag.
I feel it has been foreseen, as I showed you when you arrived at my residence. We shall encounter death one way or another, either now or another time. But we might as well try to see if we can preserve life for others.
She leans forward, almost like far enough that you'd think she'd fall over, and say,
He will not part with his eye willingly.
I would say
That is the key word, right? Is it not? Let me know.
no. Just when Anselm starts to talk, I would just try to get Caroline moving already to this door because
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I get it. I would do the same thing.
So as you are stepping through, once again,
Before Caroline steps through,
yeah,
she will look up towards Manon and give a sort of nod of what I'm going to say. The boy Felix is not for your collection. Release him.
she
We are
looks
doing.
and says,
I do not have him.
The Sparrow Hag, I think.
The Sparrow Hag has him. She will honor the pact. Family matters, after all.
Yes, it does. Now we'll step through.
all right.
So, how does recovery work? Do we,
So,
does
yeah,
that
you
we have an
can just-
action recovery and then
Click on, well, the first one is one round, so you can just click on that. And then what is it, 1d6 you recover?
10
and you,
minutes. Yeah.
yeah, you put it to whatever pools you want.
So,
What's interesting is
the next time he recovers, he takes 10 minutes, and you can't do it until 10 minutes. Or is that enough?
Well, my understanding, and I could be wrong, is there's a strategy to deciding which kind of rest you're going to take each moment. So if you have 10 minutes, it's better to take that kind of rest so that in the midst of a
Yeah,
combat.
you don't have to take them in order.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take my 10-minute rest as we're,
Sure.
maybe Caroline could do the same thing. She got.
Yeah, I'm going to
And
think over
I
it.
think I'm the last, like behind everybody as they're kind of venturing forward and like just really taking in this whole like amazing looking place that we're in before we kind of transfer over to this new location. Because I have this thought of I'm going to come back here later and check this place out because there's lots of knowledge here.
Oh yeah, I mean this is also a witch's lair. So
well, exactly, and that's why. And she's mentioned Nicodemus, and I want to know more about why she knows about Nicodemus, and that's a strange new thing. So yeah,
I do want to go. Who's Nicodemus? You seem to know who this is, Anselm.
Have I not mentioned it? I have a feline companion, let us call it, but she exists in a different. How shall I put it? Space between spaces that I can see, but it seems that not many others can. However, I've now just discovered that these people we are dealing with can see those places, which makes them fearsome. I think we should proceed with caution as we can. But I have great faith in all of you. So I shall remain in the back and support all of you. So I'm going to take a step back. I let an 11-year-old go in front of me. That's
with a big lupine shadow.
Let's go. With the strange sun that or at least the light that comes from above in this place, this hazy world that you guys step into, it does cast a very clear, enormous wolf shadow behind where Wilhelmina walks.
Yeah, I'm going to just say that I didn't make this character. However, Kevin made a character that I would have made.
Nice. That's great to hear.
As he knows.
All right. So, I guess we followed the path.
Okay. Unless there's anything you wish to discuss or do, you follow along on the path, and then at one point, a sparrow alights on a tree nearby. It looks down at you, and it speaks. I'm not doing it, but boy, would it be fun if I tried to do a Gilbert Gottfried voice, hey?
Oh my God! Yes, please. Darwin was watching it, so I can watch Darwin on like a little kind of like, and this is before your time, Kevin, and it's only because I'm way too old and shouldn't have a child at this age. But I can watch him on my phone. Yeah. Right. Like, so this morning I was watching him watch Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, nice.
And other Disney movies, and so I did hear Gilbert Gottfried this morning in a Disney movie.
That might have been Aladdin then, because he does the.
Oh, it was Aladdin.
Yeah, he does the parrot in Aladdin, right?
I can't tell what he's watching. I just hear the voices. Yeah, is all I hear. So I appreciate this. It strikes close to home.
That's great. All right, so it alights on the tree, and it's difficult to see who it's looking at, but it speaks.
Why wouldn't it?
You have accepted. You will find the troll.
Can I see if anybody else is like seeming to understand?
Yeah, you look at it, everyone else kind of gives you. They seem to be understanding at least.
Okay. What? You all are hearing this creature's voice in your own tongue, it seems.
Yes.
Well, strange, is it not? For that is not usual. And yet I think it bodes well for us, perhaps.
And I guess Maximilian will answer. He says, if by the old troll you mean the Earl of Cold Blooms, well then yes.
No.
No. With someone different. Okay.
Mimir, the eldest. Bring the Sparrow Hag his sinister eye.
Do you know what this means? Maximilian seems to have spoken to you.
Well, I thought the Earl of Cold Blooms was the same as the old troll. I thought it was a derogatory, but apparently the troll is a troll in this case. Because I'll look at the bird. Which way then?
Follow the path. Find the bridge.
Of course.
Well, this way lies madness. I am joking. Every way lies madness.
Believe you're already mad, Anselm. But we still.
We are all mad. Sorry, that was just like
yes.
TM Monte Cook games.
So, what's one for the trailer?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, can we? I don't really remember, but I maybe have fought this troll before. Can we hurt him this time?
You actually... Oh, give folk monsters?
No.
No. You have...
Just use it.
You have supernatural knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, you can give us a... Actually, you know what? I think that's sufficient, because you're a creepy little girl who knows a lot, so that feels, Some campaigns we need exposition grandma, some campaigns we need creepy little girl who knows too much. So,
yeah.
In this one, we get that. And, Mimir the Eldest is quite literally the oldest troll. And... while in some traditions people think of trolls as just stupid and like man-eating and whatnot too, there are other traditions, older traditions, where they are very brilliant and gifted in magic. They are extremely learned creatures, or can be. That often comes with age, and as I said, Mimir the Eldest is the eldest. You have not fought Mimir before. Old trolls are not necessarily prized for their physical prowess, though that is not to be underestimated. They're prized for their wisdom. And of course, the dexterous eye would have a view of the truth, but the sinister eye, that's where secrets lie. So, Sparrow flies away. And you guys carry on?
Well, a quick question.
Definitely.
Does the sparrow seem to be normal, or are there anything is there anything about the sparrow that seems to be off? Meaning, the last sparrow I saw was dead. Is this sparrow seem to be undead in any way, or just seems like a regular sparrow?
No,
as far as I can
I'm
tell?
playing against type this time, so it's not a...
Okay. See, no. It's not just me. I know what I'm in for, which I love every time. So I'm just double checking.
Yeah,
okay.
no, this
so it
is...
seems like it's like...
This thing is actually a... it's just a fey sparrow, likely. You are likely in one of the secret worlds right now. Where you've been walked into is that. It says a lot about your experience in this, Anselm, the fact that you're not concerned about finding your way home. There are always rules and tricks and nonsense like that, so...
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I say to my companions, when you came to my residence, you saw that there was a dead sparrow, and yet this sparrow lives. That means that's fate.
Well,
There
It's
are
not
more
for-
than one sparrow in the world, Anselm.
This is... Yes, you are ahead of me. You are learning. You are all learning. Very good. I feel like I've done my part. I can go to my death and feel happy. Even though that's like the worst thing to say. The sparrow's alive, and perhaps I will survive as well, but I wish only that you all survive and save this young boy from a fate worse than death. I feel like I'm playing a different character than I usually play, Kevin. I don't know. Because normally I'm just burning everything to the ground. But
I got characters mixed up here.
hold on, yeah, please, yes, give me
Max.
the right character.
Oh, yeah, the tokens are in the wrong place here.
Fireball.
Here we go. All right, so then, as you guys carry along, and in a place like this, you would know it's difficult to judge how long you've been walking. You just know it's been a while. And what you come across is this. A shattered bridge. Water cascading down. And seemingly a troll up ahead to find.
And I killed Karl, just FYI.
Yeah,
No,
When no one's looking.
Maxillian stepped off the path.
Yeah.
Never step off the path.
Roll 20 drop, but I can still hear you guys.
Oh yeah, because you're in Zoom still. So just if you'd rejoin, we got you on the right page here. I, for one, blame the Game Master.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
The Verdungmann. Is that right? No, Verbindungsmann. Yeah.
At least Kevin knows more than one language. Like, I wish I did.
No,
like,
I know
like
a couple
one
of
language
words.
plus 0.25 of other languages.
I know a couple of
No,
words
Kevin,
that are
you
wrong
know-
in a couple of languages.
No, you're far ahead. I think the most, or let's say, I'm gonna just talk about Americans. Most of us, Karl can back me up, know one language, kind of barely, because we live in such a
Carl
giant
speaks
country.
Spanish.
Oh, you speak Spanish? Well, yes, that's right. So you are better than me, because I'm like one of those random. I've learned to speak Scottish. Or no, I don't mean that. I mean understand it. That's what I learned to do, so I can get to where I need to go in a taxi instead of some random place I didn't want to be.
I think all you need to understand is that when they say nay danger, they're not threatening you.
Well, so, you know, it's funny you say that, Kevin, because my wife said the same thing to me, not with the dangerous part of it, but what nay means. So you're not wrong.
So I didn't see the picture of the troll.
You have not encountered the troll yet.
Oh, okay.
So, have you any plans as to how to approach us? You're just walking up and seeing what awaits you, or?
No, I think might as well use some of my stuff.
Yeah, don't forget we have ciphers and relics and stuff.
I'm gonna go up and scout it out. Put my soldier's cloak tight around me and go check it out.
So great, awesome. So that gives you an asset for your sneaking,
for hiding.
Yeah. So let me get my troll stats here.
Guess that's gonna be speed.
Yep, that would make sense. And then I think you've probably got something, some skill that would apply as well, right?
I mean, tracker. I don't think tracker applies here in this case, but unless you're making it very broad and
I'll let you. I think I'd be fine for it to be broader. Okay, and here we go. Earth and stone. All right, so troll. Ooh, troll's level 6 for keeping its ears and eyes out. So your asset will bring that down to a 5. Your training will bring it down to a 4, but that's still a 12 or higher you need.
Right. I might spend some effort as well.
Cool.
So it's 3, right, on the first one?
3 for the first one, and I don't. Oh yeah, you're
minus your edge.
Yeah, I don't have edge for. I don't have edge for
speed.
Yeah.
You can spend a maximum of 6 if you'd like.
No, I think only 2. Oh no. Well, I'm only going to spend 1 effort.
Okay, so then it'll be 1 effort, 1 asset, and your trained roll against a 6. You'll need
so we'll see.
9 or higher.
Of course not.
Now,
Jeez.
1, baby. You want to spend your action point.
Yes, I will spend my action point.
Okay.
All right. I have 2, so I'll spend 1 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everyone take an action point as well, too? I'm not going to do an intrusion again.
Yes.
But...
Okay, great.
What?
Sweet.
Okay, so I don't have... No bonus. Difficulty 6.
Then 1 asset.
Yeah, 1 effort.
1 effort and 1 asset.
No, 1 asset. Okay.
On Karl.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, it's failure.
No,
Fuck.
I still failed. Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so
All right.
what
More
you can
fun.
picture is you're out there sneaking around in this thing, and Anselm, Caroline, and Wilhelmina, what are you guys doing while Max is doing his soldier thing?
I'm looking at Wilhelmina to see what she's doing, how she's tracking. She's been seeming to have some insight in general.
How did Wilhelmina feel seeing Max getting all geared up and going hunting?
Yeah, I think that's what hunters should do. So I guess my question is, when I shapeshift into this wolf form,
Yep.
do I automatically have to attack any living creature, or is it just under the moon?
Just under the moon, you have to attack.
Yeah, okay. So, because then I would sneak off to the side and try to remain.
Sure. So if you want to
hidden.
transform on any for your control change, that's a difficulty 3 intellect task.
Yeah, let's try that.
And I think you can use supernatural knowledge as a skill for that, if you'd like, and then you're free to use anything else.
So
Awesome.
that worked.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
And then
So-
why don't you give us a sneaking
Yes.
check here? That's again a difficulty 6. It's a crafty old troll. You've got training from that. Do you have any?
Yeah.
Think
So
I'll-
I would say that's sneaking is speed or intellect.
Speed, probably.
Yeah. Then I would use 1 effort to just
Okay.
make it a little bit more.
Okay, so that brings it down to a 4. So it'll be 12 or higher, I think. Although, do you get anything from being in your wolf form that helps with that?
No.
Your speed edge goes up by 1.
Yes.
Yeah, so your speed edge will be 2.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, maybe you are doing that, yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
so it was a
Nat
natural 20.
20!
Not 20.
Woo!
So, what you find is, as you guys are looking in, I will show you what Mimir the eldest looks like. And those at home will have seen this. I really want a poster of this thing, because I think this is my favorite troll illustration of all time.
Oh no. And we know that like the posters Kevin gets are horrifying.
No, this is... there's so much fucking
no,
personality in
God.
this. It's so cool
Yeah,
looking.
that is okay. To be fair, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still horrifying, but also awesome.
Yeah, let me give just in the event...
Do you know the artist, Kev?
I don't
Any
actually
chance?
know, but I did find...
Amazing.
yeah, I'm going to find... Maybe I'll post in chat.
Amazing
what-
artwork.
what
I just
things-
since we're in the era of AI, like I'm trying to point out like
Absolutely.
real artists
Yeah.
as they're doing their thing, because like this kind of thing is amazing, and I don't think an AI could do that. Like that's
Yeah.
like horrifying, and like also I want to like go meet this thing in person at the same time.
Okay.
We gotta reward our artists who do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right, so this guy is stalking out Wilhelmina. What are you thinking as far as yourself? Do you want to be in a position to be able to get the clear drop on Mimir?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is like the wolf form, and it is just meant for hunting.
Okay.
And this is my prey. So,
Here we go. So here is, before you get a chance to get your drop on him, he does spot Maximilian. And you guys can hear a voice. And Maximilian, you can see him as well. And he just starts listing off names. And this seems to, you can picture he's just underneath the bridge and part of the brambles that are underneath there on the right side. He's well hidden, and there are a ton of like Mynheer stones with runic markings on them all scattered around. And he says,
My old foe, The hunter. The pactor. Bargainer. A warlock's apprentice. And where is she?
I think since I've been
of endings. Where is she? Have you come as friends and allies again? Or have you come to take my eye?
Well, I think Maximilian, since he's been spotted, he kind of, I guess, raises an eyebrow. I'm glad that Wilhelmina has not. He's gonna step out, tip his hat.
There you are.
I say, Mimir, we do not want to take your eye. I know you can grow them back. We just need to borrow your eye.
This eye has seen secrets from the beginning. There is no growing back. But why have you come, old foe? We had an accord. We brought the Earl to his knees. We bound the Wolf of Endings and postponed your doom. Does your friend seek to please his father-in-law so badly that he would steal what is mine? The accord we wrought, and free the Earl of Cold Blooms so that his heart might beat again.
I look, because me as a player is also very confused.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense now.
and I look back at Anselm, and I guess I gotta draw my blade and say, Anselm, do you have some splaining to do?
What do you make of what he said, Anselm?
All of this is very perplexing to me.
Perhaps you should ask your bargainer to make our new accord.
So, do I interpret that bargainer as being Nicodemus? Or
if you look over at Caroline,
the woman in the painting. Mm-hmm.
Carolina, it has an understanding of magics and all the intricate rules of different Fey pacts and whatnot much better than you do. Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
The four names he gave were the Old Foe, the Warlock's Apprentice, the Bargainer, and the Wolf of Endings.
Yeah, so that seems like Wilhelmina is one of them.
I'm
so I
thinking Norse mythology Fenris, but
perhaps I turn to Wilhelmina. What's Wilhelmina's expression in golf like? How is she
she's
feeling
hidden right now?
hidden. She's like the wind, or
yeah. So I can't actually see her.
But what is going through Wilhelmina's mind right now?
That's a good question.
So that is a problem, because I think that in the wolf form, because I can't spend intellect points, I'm not really that clever. This is the pure instinct level.
Yeah.
So I would react if I think if my companions speak, there is maybe not the time to attack right now. but just maybe an opportunity to attack later. But
Okay.
let them talk for a minute. So.
Okay.
Okay. So that leaves.
Yeah, you realize that you
Carolina,
can't
so-
see where, I guess, the Wolf of Endings has gone to murder this guy.
Right. Well, could work out well, but we'll see. Carolina.
Caroline,
You have
sorry,
any
I keep
insight
mispronouncing it. It's
Caroline,
my fault.
I know. Well, I'm just going. Okay, Caroline, do you have any insight into what is going on with this creature?
I wouldn't go as far as insight, but we were warned that Nicodemus and this one were trying to stop something, but that it would cost greatly. I'm thinking that the cost is that we can either take the eye and free the woman in your painting, Anselm, or leave the eye where it is and the end of the world doesn't happen if this Earl of Cold Blooms has been bound to prevent the Everwinter from. But it might be an either-or situation, not a... As I have mentioned before, there is always a price to pay.
So I'm twirling my cane as she's saying this.
I guess Maximilian's gonna say,
Taking this in.
Are you the Warlock's apprentice? He
Who
points his
are you
sword-
asking?
Anselm.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, indeed.
Am I? Did I miss my something on my sheet?
Nicodemus Corbeau taught you much.
Oh, yes, you are correct.
And he
was
mentions
thinking-
the name Corbeau, and Corbeau, of course, means raven.
Interesting.
There were ravens in that portrait, and your thumb goes back to
Yeah.
your ring once again.
Yes, I understand that you and my acquaintance is as far as I will go with the relationship. Nicodemus have worked together in the past, but you will know that I am an ally in your fight, and therefore I am willing to try to make sure myself and my companions can aid you. If they do not wish to sacrifice Nicodemus, however, it seems I must sacrifice something. Perhaps it's... Yes, I see you enjoy it.
I
Not
do
surprising
not.
to me.
Your
do not enjoy it.
willingness to pay prices to achieve goals is why Corbeau saw so much in you, as did
Well-
his daughter.
I will say, my friend, that you have not misjudged me. This is something I would not admit normally to anyone, but you have seen through my guise of helpfulness to my companions.
Sorry.
However, Wilhelmina, shut up! You're in the middle of a speech! He's me, George. But I am willing to sacrifice what I must for these friends of mine that I have made, because I have seen that they are more caring, more giving than I ever would be toward anyone. So if you ask of me to let go of that, which is more important than anything that I have tried to accomplish in my entire life, I will do it. I will let go of the woman in the portrait.
Freunde, you
Oh, Freunde.
already have
Well,
You may be willing to give. I have not grown old and wise by giving so easily. Take the eye if you can. You will not have it free.
And he seems to be, Wilhelmina, trying to back away to something, but you are in prime position if you wish to do anything to try and prevent him.
And I kind of go silent, just so you know.
Yeah, I think that I would just attack because she does not really understand what they're talking about. So that's...
Okay, so is she, you're attacking his, let's see here. Defense would be a 6. 5, actually, because he's quite big and slow. So, difficulty would be 5.
Okay. So, yeah, I would, so my hands count as medium weapons.
Heck yeah.
And
you are trained in them as well.
Yes, and I have this wreck ability. For a -1 to hit, I inflict 3 additional points of damage.
Nice.
So let's do this and
might attack, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
And because I don't know, I'm just looking at the.
I'm gonna give you 1 asset because you've got him completely surprised, right?
Yeah.
So you'll get 1 asset from that, and then if you wish to spend effort, you're welcome to as well.
Yeah, I just is there? I'm just looking for some thing where I could roll. There is no attack, so.
Oh, they should be in the middle. Oh, maybe I didn't fill yours out. Sorry.
Yeah. Just,
I think you were the last one I filled out. I fucked it up. So it should be under. Here we go. Attacks, might, mods. You're trained in it. Here we go. Put that down.
Yeah, that's okay. And damage is 4.
Yeah.
4 plus 3 then.
So there you go. Should be.
44 is a little bit much.
That's a lot.
I'll take 44.
He explodes into a fucking mist.
Okay, so
I didn't even see the roll.
So whenever you're ready, you went with. So you got 1 asset.
Yeah.
Rolling against a
difficulty was 4.
5.
Yeah.
Difficulty is 5. He's a.
Sorry, 5. Yeah, 5. Yeah, but I would. Yeah, okay. So, and I get 1 asset. No F. 1 asset. I'm sorry. I will use one level of effort.
Okay. Go right ahead.
To this. I'm sorry. So
you get +1. Yeah, might edge. As well.
Oh yeah. So that will effort to roll 1 and 1 asset, and now let's submit.
Come on. Big money.
Oh wow.
Success. Nice. Yep, that's a hit. So that is 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage.
What's it look like as you spring out of the
I think
thicket?
Out of the woods or somewhere, I don't know, this big wolf just appears and just jumps at him and tries to go for his throat.
Yeah! It's on him. Max, you've got your gun out. If you'd like to make an attack,
I had drawn my saber because I thought he caught me close.
Oh shit!
Either way,
you could probably, there's not a charge.
But I'm not going to attack first. I'm going to make him my quarry. That's the best bet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I guess I turn back from Anselm, look at Mimir, and I feel like not compelled, but obligated to protect Wilhelmina.
Okay.
So I will,
then
spend the intellect points.
Oh, to get your thing, yes, and then
to make him my quarry.
Everyone, go ahead and make an initiative check against difficulty of 5. He's still quite slow.
And that's we wanted to spend effort, that would be on speed, right?
It would be on speed. That's right. Yeah.
No.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I have something special for Anselm.
That's a fail. Okay.
Okay.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Special, in quotes.
All right. Did anybody beat Mimir?
No. Doesn't look like it.
Okay. I mean, he's a fucking tough
Yeah.
cookie. So, all right. So then, before Mimir acts, though, I'm going to take advantage of my intrusion here. So, Anselm,
Oh no!
where's your mind at right now?
My mind is trying to process all these different variables that have been going on, and trying to mathematically come up with an answer to the question, which is his normal way of handling things, because he's so intellect based. But he's starting to realize this is not about that. It's about it's a feeling based response is what's required, and he is not quite there yet. So he's kind of lost in this doing calculus in his mind,
So
and
you can-
not paying as much attention.
What sort of snaps you out for a moment is there is a viciously cold breeze, like someone suddenly opening a door on a frigid winter's day in a warm cabin, and you turn to look over. She is unseen, and only you see her. But she, is here for you.
She comes, is what I say. Have I
Then,
seen her before, or I just recognize that she's coming for me?
in your gut, you feel like you've seen her before, but you don't remember seeing her before.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mimir, Wilhelmina, Mimir is going to try and fucking grab you and throw you onto the ground. So, you want to give us a might or speed defense? Either of those, I think, would work.
Yeah, I think I'm stronger than him just because of pure, I don't know. So I would do a might defense because I'm just.
You got it. Try and hold on with your jaws. So I'll give you a free asset with that then, because your mighty jaws would probably play into that. So it would be, I guess, you could add a skill in for, because I forgot to add weapon skills for any of you guys. If you want to add unarmed fighting or wolf form as trained,
Yeah.
you could use that, and then that should work, or the roll should otherwise work. You go ahead. The difficulty will be 6 in this one.
6.
So
Okay. So I think I could just use the attack I had before. I mean, I don't do damage then, but it's
sure,
the
yeah,
same.
that works for me.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
So, okay, let's see. I would just think that it is wise to use a level of effort just because I can.
Okay.
So,
And you got 1 asset from your mighty jaws.
so this is intimidating. 1 level of effort, 1 asset. And let's hope for the best. And I did it.
Add a special. I'll actually let you do 1 point of damage to him. As he's trying to pull you off, your jaws just lock in, and he's let go, Karl. Then it is Max's turn.
So Max, I guess, is going to charge to help his companion,
Okay.
and I will use swipe. So that
Nice.
cost me 1. So that's cost me 1. I do 1 less damage, so that cancels out my bonus of damage I get from the melee weapon attack. So it still does 4.
Okay.
But then if I hit, I daze him.
Awesome.
But also, since he's my quarry, I bump up it gives me an asset.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so you're gonna have 1 asset in this attack.
Yeah.
His defense will be a 5.
Okay. All right.
Because he's just big and.
And then I'm using. I'm also going to use. It's an enabler. Control the field with 1 might, which doesn't cost me anything because I have 2 edge.
Awesome.
But I'll take off the 1 for the speed
Okay.
because it cost me the swipe cost me a speed. Okay. And I will use effort since I got one for the field, and if it's a might attack, that's 3. So this will cost me 2 might.
Okay. So you have 1 effort and what, 2 assets?
Yeah. So no bonus, right?
No
difficulty
bonus, no.
5. Effort. I'm spending 1 effort.
Yep.
And then I have 1 asset.
Come on.
Oh, effort to damage. Oh, I could spend effort to damage too. Yeah, I'll spend effort to we'll spend effort to damage as well. Right, the second set of, and I don't get anything off of that, so it's 2 points. Okay.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Oh. Ouch.
That is awesome. So that's 7. Did you add? Oh, 1 effort to the damage.
I added 1 damage to the effort.
So you race in. Oh, Anna, come on over here. Anna says hi to everyone.
Yeah. No.
She heard someone had a dog around their throat, so she came to see. Hi, sweetie. So yeah, what does it look like as you hack away at Mimir the Eldest?
Yes. So I also did swipe, so he's going to be hindered.
Oh yeah. So I got -1 to all of my actions.
Yeah, he's hindered, and then I move him. Where can I move him? To control the field, it says 1 less damage than normal. So I'm glad I spent effort.
You can move him away.
Damage.
He's got hidey holes all over the place here. You could, if you want.
I'll push him out so he can't like go into his hole. I'm gonna push him further out, so he's out in the open. Like I hack into his. I mean, I'm smaller than him, so I hack into his ankles.
You old hunter.
Not if I kill you first.
Caroline, what are you doing?
Caroline will look at Mimir and say, "You are no stranger to death." Then her eyes go like deathly pale and like blue cold light streams out as I invoke a spirit assault against them, and I will spend 2 levels of effort on this.
Nice. So it's a 4. No, 5. Yeah, 5 against effort defense.
Does the hindrance matter?
It sounds like it's his actions, though, right? For
his actions, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe like for our defense, if he attacks. And
exactly.
Okay. That's good.
Action point.
I will absolutely action point this.
Okay.
Apparently, not in this realm.
The dead cannot touch me, girl. Bargainer, you must try better. Wilhelmina.
Yeah, I'm just going for its throat again. Okay, so let's see.
So 5 is a difficulty.
Yeah, I'm just using my attack like I did the last time. So I'd use this kind of all-out attack where I get a -1 to do more damage.
Okay.
And difficulty was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just do an effort. I mean, let's come on.
Okay.
And there's no asset anymore, so I think that's it. So
18. Nice. Holy smokes, a 6.
So so it is 6 plus 3 because
9 damage.
Not in there.
Jesus. His life flood is spilling out as Wilhelmina is just, I mean, technically the Wolf of Endings is just fucking tearing out this thing's throat. His voice is gurgling now as blood is beginning to go down it. No! No! And Selm.
So I pull my sword cane out.
Yeah.
And stand up as tall as I can. I'm going to use my terrifying presence.
Nice.
You are slain unless I prevent my companions from destroying you. I would give up if I were you right now.
Are you speaking to the troll?
Mechanically. Yes.
Target of level 3 or lower.
Yes, but 6. I can spend. I use effort to increase the maximum level of the target.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
So, but I don't know if so that my question was, do I have any idea? Am I just guessing at
No, you would know. Yeah, like there's no, I don't think there's any blind spends in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, you would know.
I'll spend whatever it takes.
So you would be capped by effort, right?
Yes, that's right.
Which would be 5.
So that's where I don't know.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you can't get enough to
Okay, not enough. Okay.
But you would know that.
So would I know that? I would know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so instead, what I'd rather do is, I kind of say that anyway, but my intent is different, which is my understanding, which is to observe or study a creature as an action to gain an asset on my next interaction with them.
Yeah,
which costs me 1 intellect.
I don't think
so
you
I
need
kind
to
of say that to see the reaction to what I'm saying as like kind of standing up and like trying to be really pompous and like annoying.
There's actually fear, definite fear in this, 9-foot troll's face.
Okay, so I kind of like aside say to whoever's around me, like, it fears us. Take advantage of it. And that's all I say.
This snow maiden to the side surges towards you, Anselm, and is trying to carve at you with those many sharp ice talons. Would you give us a speed defense, please?
Yeah.
And it says good luck. This is only a 3. Oh, so it's a 2. Right. A 2, not a 3. 2.
A 2. Okay. All right. Difficulty of 2. Here we go. Yes.
Holy shit.
Nice.
What are you thinking for the major effect? Knockdown, disarm, stun, impair?
Yeah, I think it's stun in the sense that like nobody thought I could have withstood this onslaught.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
here, let me give you this.
I kind of like turn away. Yeah.
As it comes in, you've been facing towards that, and having drawn your sword cane, you just turn, and as she charges in, she's caught on it, and you shatter a little thing you didn't see in the middle, a little pendant that looks like a white and a yellow blossom, and all you say very quietly to her is, "Say hello to your master,
my little friend."
And she shatters into the same kind of piles of ice that you guys saw at the beginning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she has been...
I just turned to my companions as if I knew that was going to happen.
Well, I think the only person that sees that would be Caroline, right?
The ice actually appears now on the ground next to you, Caroline. He seems to have stabbed someone, and it looks identical to what you found on Wilhelmina's bedroom floor. Oh. Mimir's not pleased, Wilhelmina. He is going to grab you and just try and crush you. Give us a might defense, please, against 6.
He's hindered. He's hindered from the...
Oh, he's hindered. 5. Thank you, Karl. Sorry.
I hope that helps.
That's something. And I think for reasons, I would just put in 2 levels of effort here now.
Nice.
Because who knows?
Here we go. Come on.
Oh, 18 again.
Nice. Awesome. So again, he's trying to pull you in, and still you're just fucking grinding those jaws on him. Amazing. Then, Maximilian, you're in there. Wilhelmina is still tearing into his throat. What are you doing?
I feel like I want to tear his eye out, but
you could
when he's
when
he's not. Yeah.
A minor effect is strike a specific body part. It requires a 19 or better on the roll, but I'm fine you taking increase the difficulty by 1, make it a 7. What do you think? Are there any gang up bonuses in the game?
I don't know, but I mean, we could just beat him the normal way.
I don't think so, Kev.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was going to ask a question about successive attack. I don't think I can attack another. I have to have another foe, I guess, right?
If you down a foe with it, you can immediately make another attack against it. Yeah, you have to.
Oh, down a foe. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I use the same thing. Swipe.
Go right ahead.
To hinder him.
Yep.
So, see the same amount of effort spent.
Okay.
So how much I spent 4 last time, so I will spend 4 again.
Mm-hmm.
So, right. So no bonus. Difficulty is 6. Yep.
Yep.
Effort is 1. Acid is 1. My quarry. Effort to damage is 1.
You want to action point it?
Yes, I will action point. What's my TN is 9? Yes, right? Is that right?
Your witch is 9?
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, my target number is 9, so yeah, I will use the action point.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And Caroline, you would be up next. That's a lot of damage for... Because it's 4 plus... You do an extra... What?
Yeah,
Plus
3 for the effort.
Yeah, for the effort.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so your swipe... No, your swipe does the hindered thing, not the...
oh, come on.
Dang it. He's still able to batter your thing away. Too slow, old foe! I will see you in the grave! Caroline.
Caroline will focus inward for a moment and then try and do better, as he advised her.
As you ask, old troll.
These 5, 6 for the...
5. 5 for defense.
5. Yeah.
His defenses are not great.
Yeah. And then 2
levels of relatively speaking.
Come on. Oh. I will use my second action point.
Right. I'm actually just checking 2. So you know what, Karl? You would have got a hit.
On the first one?
You were rolling against difficulty 6, not
6.
5.
Yeah, I thought he was 6, so okay.
Yeah, so 5. So that first one would have been a hit. Take your action point back and also apply, what is that, 10 damage?
7.
7
it's already
damage.
The effort's already in there.
7, okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, and Caroline, you're going to roll again?
Yep.
That good stuff. And he's hindered as well.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, Caroline.
There we go.
What does it look like as you kill the eldest troll?
As I have the hand outstretched and my eyes blaze more with that sort of ethereal light, for a moment, ghostly figures appear around him of victims of him from like his long life. And then they sort of rush in and do him in.
Whoa, his spirit is pulled out of his body, and then it just down to the knees, woof, down to the ground. And Wilhelmina, there's no fight left in your foe.
Yeah, that is a problem, because now I have to change back. Otherwise, we have another problem.
Wait, what?
So how was Karl's one shot? Well, the orphan girl killed everybody.
So this is and I can use this is
was it level 3?
No, level 2 task, but I can't spend effort on it.
Okay. So let's see. Nice. So Wilhelmina, what goes through your mind as you change back?
It was just the taste of blood and the rage. I need to quill it down, and somehow I managed to get more calm. And now this girl who looks
curls up in your gut once again. So Mimir is dead.
Carve out his eye.
Your knife comes out. If anyone wishes to recover, you're welcome to do so.
I think I will spend an action. Well, I'm carving out his eye, so after that I'll spend an action.
So you pluck his eye out. What is going through everyone's mind now?
I will say for me, there's so many things that have come up in this moment that have kind of collided together in terms of my backstory, that I feel like there's something happening in the world that's going to bring together all of our fates. considering what I thought of at the beginning when that sparrow came through, that dead sparrow was brought through my sill. So our fates are conspiring, and we will all die. I know that. But perhaps before we do, we will do some good, as we have today.
Caroline? Wilhelmina? What is going through your mind?
Caroline thinks that she's not sure if we've just made a mistake or not. She doesn't know all of the complexities of Ansem's father-in-law / patron being involved in this, and you know, the county of Farwinter and all of these things that she's not as familiar with as Ansem, so she would like some answers, which is why she would probably try and use Speak with the Departed on Mimir, the eldest.
Nice! Love it. I don't think you have to make a check for that either, do you? Oh, difficulty is how long the target's been dead? Yeah, you can do that automatically. He is as close to being nearly dead as what you want. So, and how many... For 1 minute. So, this is going to be cinematic 1 minute, so... What does it look like as you bring his spirit back?
She will walk over to where his body is, she will pull out the dagger again and sort of draw a drop of blood from her hand and sort of just make a mark on his face and sort of say, Mimir, we're not done yet. This is sort of like that same pale glow that was in her eyes now in his eyes.
Okay, eye, technically.
Eye, no, yes. Oh yes, yeah.
Maximilian has the other. He coughs up a bunch of greenish, reddish blood.
I am back. Bargainer. Well played to you all. I did not think I would be the one pushing on. Ask your questions. Allow me to move from this. There is so much to learn in my next phase.
Caroline will obviously happily take suggestions from her companions, but her first question will be, do you know why the Sparrow Hag wants your sinister eye?
She was tricked by her father. He let her think that my eye would see where the Earl of Cold Blossoms keeps her precious sister. She is correct. My sinister eye sees all.
Caroline will look over at Alms and with a sense of like, your family is very effed up. And I'm like, why?
You're not wrong.
Then she will get a, why would Nicodemus Corbeau wish to trick one of his daughters?
He has tricked her again. He has already tricked one into sacrificing all. Her memory, her love, keeps the Earl of Cold Blooms warm in the county of Endless Winter. And so he leaves these lands in peace. But Nicodemus Corbeau has long planned. Trick one daughter, offer up a second, all for his power.
Anna just cried. Oh, poor girl. Sorry,
She looked like She doesn't like dungeon music, scary voice.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey? Oh, my little. Like, you're right. You good girl.
And Caroline will look towards her companions in case they have any questions they wish answered. I will also point out that her spirit will depart shortly.
That was meant to be. We are just the instruments of fate. You have sacrificed much, but it was a sacrifice that we all needed to make. And fate knew what you all are at your core. And therefore, we have today been successful, even without my help, of which I was unfortunately not able to provide as much as I would have liked. But there will be a time that comes very soon when our fates will yet hang again in the balance, and perhaps the fate of the young boy, Felix. We must be there for him, for I perceive that he may be the savior of us all.
Please allow me to pass on this prattling. It is too much. Give my
Listen to
eye.
him.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Give my eye
One more question.
to the hag, and she will undo what you all have wrought, bargainer. All you have sacrificed will be for naught. Or give it to Nicodemus and trust the schemer and trickster. He has robbed you of your memories. Caroline.
He pronounced it incorrectly. It's the troll version of the name, so that's why.
Yeah.
You, the Count, the Earl, would not see this pact undone, and he sent his minions to stop you. But Nicodemus would see his scheme failed. What will you do?
And Caroline, there is one alternative he didn't contemplate. You are a gifted sorceress. You could use the sinister eye of Mimir.
As he asks that, I think Caroline will look at him and will say, I guess we will see. And then she will let the spell fade.
When he is gone. So you stand at the bridge of Mimir. An ensorcelled boy. A commitment to a forgotten spouse. Or throwing in with a sorcerer cat. Max?
Max, well, how do we undo the spell on the boy? Can we use the eye to do so?
The eye could reveal. I mean, I think you guys are aware that it's at least unless Manon is lying, that's the Sparrow hag who did that.
Right.
Giving the eye to her, she would hopefully undo the curse.
But she wants the eye to find her sister. Right. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Anselm, how do you feel about giving it to your sister-in-law?
I think I feel like this is a thread that I would like to pull and figure out where it leads, because I have a bunch of different connections that I don't know how they all intertwine, like with Nicodemus, but they're all leading somewhere. And I don't know where exactly, but I know that I'm meant to be there in the center of it all. Maybe to die, maybe to live, don't know, but to do my part.
Mm-hmm. I say we turn it over then to the Sparrow Hag to help the boy. And then I do not trust this sorcerer cat that I cannot see.
I mean, and who likes their in-laws? Come on.
Yeah.
He is like any other cat in that way. Maximilian.
Wilhelmina?
Yeah. So, being called the Wolf of Ending is not the best moniker to have in some way.
Mimir did make a reference to you being Maximilian's doom as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I can see that.
Yeah, that would be okay with Wilhelmina. I mean, at some point the hunter is so old, the next generation has to take over.
Yeah,
but
especially when he starts hacking at Mimir, like horns or claw to take as a trophy.
Yeah. So that is something I don't think so problematic, but I think she believes that they really made some pact in the past, and we have been tricked by this Fey folk who can't be trusted at all. And we are doing exactly the opposite of what we should do. That is her takeaway right now.
And Caroline.
Caroline has a moment where she sort of inwardly thinks that speaking to the dead is actually easier than dealing with Fae, and she's glad she's gone on a different path. I think she would be in favor of taking the eye to the Sparrow Hag and then having a chat with the Sparrow Hag. There's really more going on, and in her mind there is this, what Mimir said of that if we give it to the Sparrow Hag, then Nicodemus' schemes will come true, and that didn't sound good. Like, if he wants more power from the Earl of Cold Blooms and is willing to sacrifice his family, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
Anselm, searching your gut, what do you think your past self would have, what decision do you think you would have made? Because clearly you've made one at some point.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think I'm kind of in that state where I'm resigned to my death. So I know it's coming, and I want to make sure it happens at a point that's critical for helping other people. But I don't feel like it's come yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to stay alive for the moment until I feel like it will make a big difference. So there's some correlation between me and maybe Felix and basically all the witch and the troll and everybody we've encountered this adventure that triangulates in some way. And that's why I'm making sure I stay alive. So I have to stay alive until I figure out what that correlation is. And then I can sacrifice myself at that point to make some kind of difference. And it may not matter, but that's my fate, to make that choice in that moment. So I think that could feel like a negative thing. Like I went to see Back to Black last night, which is pretty, we all know what happens at the end. But it's kind of a tragic fate that you can see coming a mile away. But it's still, at the same time, you can make amazing music. And that's his plan. He's going to make amazing music with his friends until it's over.
Then, where are you heading? Mimir's Bridge may have some way of moving from the secret world back to yours. Or back to...
Maximilian. What do you think, Maximilian? Which way should we proceed?
To the Sparrow Hag. Finish the job.
So you turn and you're walking back down that road towards the forest where that domed structure is. And I think just before you guys disappear into the trees and that tree-lined path, you would hear...
No.
And that brings us to the end of the Fall of a Sparrow.
No. We can keep going.
So, first off, a huge thank you to Karl for giving me the opportunity to write this adventure and to run Cypher for the first time in about 8 years. So that was an enormous amount of fun. And for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for our most recent charity campaign or charity session. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the I guess that's it, not a campaign per se, then please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. My apologies if I fucked up whatever rules I did fuck up with respect to Cypher. I do apologize to those Cypher diehards. In addition, there's a link in the description of the video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have a channel there dedicated to the charity games we run on the channel, to all the other most other campaigns we run on the channel, as well as a ton of other ones like finding a group or non-RPG chat. There's a really great community that has built up over the years over there, finding a group, and you are more than welcome to... okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think so. I think
you're more than welcome to join us over there. There's an assorted games channel where we would probably talk about Cypher. There is also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages, which is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It's what made this session possible. And if you follow that link, you can make donations to SOS Children's Villages International, and none of the money that goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services. And as a way of saying thank you, right now, if you've donated $25 or more since January 1st, 2024, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel. We currently have voting going on for our 2 Star Wars charity sessions that we will be running on May 4th, as is appropriate for May 4th. Right now we're voting on the heroes that people will be playing. Next week we'll be voting on the villains, and the final week we'll be voting on what system we're going to play, and we're going to have a bunch of options, including official and fan-made things, and I might have a Kluge option in there as well. In addition to that, if you've donated $25 or more since January 1st, we're still running these sessions to thank the donors from last year up until around first week of July, and then the rest of the year we will be running charity sessions that the donors will be voting on. So that will be an opportunity to select all the different components like we did last year during our Year of Ill Omens. The last thing I will say, and I'll do it in a reverse order here, is a huge thank you to the players, not only for playing today, but also for making it so easy to run the Cypher game. So Ingolf, David, George, and Karl, thank you so much for playing today, guys, and for the assistance in making this return to Cypher such an easy thing. Congratulations on killing the oldest troll.
Yes, thank you guys for joining this game. It's been...
Are you kidding? Thanks, Karl.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Then we will be back with our next charity session in 2 weeks' time, in which time we will be playing a favorite of mine, Shadowrun, made possible by Ingolf's generosity. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time with that. But until then, we hope that we gave those listening at home a few hours to take their mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our Strasbourger heroes are running into. yeah, marriage, man. You pick your family, but you don't pick your in-laws. Like, you pick your friends, but you can't pick your in-laws. Until then, for those listening at home, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.